GG's The Mouthful podcast is brought to you by goodgame.tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be the real episode 74 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
Home of the GG.
Home of the G to the G.
And I'm glad that we were able to get started after 3 tries.
3 tries it took me to say that, people.
Of course.
I think the drink's getting to you.
You had to get into character.
I've had 2 sips of beer.
You have to get... We understand, lightweight.
I mean, it's a little warm in the room.
It is a bit warm. I did turn off the fan. But, those voices, of course, ladies and gentlemen. To my left is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister.
How's it going, everybody?
And, of course, to his left is Krista Montanez, a.k.a. Shadow 24/7.
Let's get this started.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it gets too hot in this room.
You think it's going to get hot?
I think,
Maybe.
yeah. Well, all the equipment that we have here.
Is that
the servers running.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Of course, yeah.
And
Perhaps we
the
should build
mini
some fans
sauna
in.
that we have to, I don't know.
To relax, sit down and relax. Yeah, we're actually recording from our sauna here, laying back.
This is the type of studio we have, guys.
Exactly, yes.
It'll be like
Studio 54.
Yeah.
a sweat hut for us
This is
eventually.
all this stuff is in my room.
Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, this is your first time listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share this with all your friends. Also, go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. That's a link, takes you right to the Facebook group, the premier Facebook group called GG.
Home of GG, because we don't know how to code websites. And even if we did, we're too worried about not having a lot of visitors. So we figure, hey, everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Screw that.
You're already there anyway.
They're already there anyway. So, yeah, invite your friends. Come on.
There you go.
It takes a click. Come on.
It
They
could
will
be a
appreciate
sort
it.
of laziness, too, of I don't want to do that.
Yes, it's like, do I
A little
really
bit.
want to build a website?
A little bit. No.
Just a little bit?
It's like, I mean, some of us can actually code. Like, I can do a bit of HTML.
Oh, did I
just
did,
like-
did I just heard?
snap.
Did I just heard that we're getting a website?
That's what I heard, too.
Oh, snap. With forums and
And like I
a little
said,
storefront for
back
Nice,
again
yes.
to the laziness. Some of us don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, we'll start with the show, what we always start the show with, and that is, what have we been up to? Today, we're going to start with Mr. Dreamy Twister.
Oh, yes.
What have you been doing, sir? What has been going on?
Well,
What is your problem? No.
my problem? My name is David, and I'm addicted to Destiny 2. Hi, David.
Oh. How many hours so far, sir?
I don't know if it has a counter.
Okay,
I haven't been
what's
able
your
to find
light
this
level
counter. But yes, thank you. Now you're speaking a language that I understand.
My bad.
268 right now. Still, ready for the raid, but not quite. I mean, I want to be higher.
Okay.
Yeah. Yesterday,
What's a good level to be in the raid?
well, you get, I think at 260. People don't yell at the speaker if I'm getting it wrong. I'm still a newbie in the whole Destiny thing. But
Destiny world,
I want to say that it opens the opportunity to go at 260.
Okay.
But you don't want to be crazy to go
do it,
there.
yeah.
You
wanna get a little bit
probably
of
you want to get a little bit higher.
Really good though, because in Destiny 1, like you would have to be like light 300 and something to do a raid.
Oh, well, I don't remember much of it.
That's like my first raid. I was like 340.
But you'll be
so.
surprised of how
Good.
accessible it has. This game is, because it's probably one of the reasons I'm enjoying it so much. I feel like I'm constantly getting rewarded for little things. And yesterday I had the opportunity to play a Nightfall with Soyetsu. What is his name?
Soyetsu?
Yeah, his handle. I think his handle on it is. Oh my God, I'm gonna find out. Anyway, and I know your name too. Also, I'm just blocking it out right now. It's from the group. He's
It's late in the evening, guys.
yeah, it's exactly. I mean, I never realized how hard those things were.
Really?
Because not only you have to complete them in a time, like it gives you 15 minutes to finish up the equivalent of a very hard strike mission.
Okay.
And on top of that, like I said, it's very difficult. Well, you can gain seconds on your clock by killing guys, but you don't want to spend too much time killing guys because then time runs out. So, needless to say, we got our ass handed to us.
Oh, wow,
and,
okay.
and it changes every week. I understand it changes a little bit. But yeah, I did that, and I'm actually finding myself enjoying the Crucible a lot more than.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The Crucible?
I'm not. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not. I started doing it because it was like, it says here, call to arms. I need to do this to get powerful engrams. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to play. And then I started playing, and I just kept going. I was like, yeah, you know what? This ain't half bad. It reminds me of Halo, of the days of Halo, of Halo single player multiplayer on Xbox 360. So it's not terrible.
Is the 4v4 a problem for you?
I wanna know about that,
No, I mean it does. At some point, like I could play no more than 3 matches, and then I have to lay off
Yeah,
because it gets repetitive.
Yeah,
it gets a little boring. Yeah.
yeah. Someone that I play with on PS4, I asked them how they think of the game. They said that it's a lot of team based now since it's 4v4s.
Yeah.
So instead of, because with 6v6, it's everyone doing their own thing, and then occasionally you'll have your own teammate come in and help you.
I have found out that you tend to rack up a lot more kills if you stick together. I mean, who knew? Who would have
Yeah, I
thought,
was
right?
gonna say.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Lots
But,
of sarcasm.
But so I think I'm gonna just continuing. I'm trying to look for his name because I feel so bad now.
Oh,
when I
that's okay,
remember.
yeah.
So Yatsu, I've watched. I know I've watched a couple movies. I'm blanking out right now. You see, this is the reason why you should actually start with with yourself. Actually,
Yeah, good, but
what
I
movie?
like catching you off guard.
All right, I'll tell you. I saw The Infiltrator.
Yeah, but
Oh, the Infiltrator,
usually
okay.
You have more stuff than the both of us, so we just let you keep going.
No, no. Trust me, I totally don't. Infiltrator, good movie. Is with
Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston. Yes.
Breaking
From
Bad
Breaking
fame,
Bad
yeah.
fame. Yes, exactly. He's pretty much playing that character.
Oh, is he? Oh,
No,
okay.
no. I mean,
Is he bald
The
too?
gruffness. No, he's not bald. It takes the plot's in the 80s basically, and it has to do with him trying to infiltrate the Mexican cartel. I want to say. It also it reminded me a little bit of another movie that I saw recently, which I think discussed the last time, which was the one that I saw with the lights were now.
Sicario?
Sicario,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Sicario is the shit.
Sicario was very all right.
That's one
I
of my
gotta admit, I was very happy with that ending, and yeah. So if it's I would say go watch it. It's not like it's extraordinary or anything like that. It's just a good movie to follow, and it's based on a true story.
Oh, okay.
And usually, I had a little bit of problem with. Well, I don't have a problem, but I'm saying you have to understand that sometimes when movies are based on a true story, if they tend to follow it a little bit realistic, it can be slow at some points.
Because life isn't it.
Because exactly,
dramatic
but
as
it's
movies,
not exactly. It's not gonna be all explosions
this
and
is
all.
not Michael Bay's.
This is not
life.
Michael Bay. I was gonna say Michael Bolton.
Sounds like I have some movies to put on my list to
You
watch
do.
eventually.
Life is more Michael Bolton than Michael Bay when you think about it.
Yes.
There you go. A
Well
quote.
said. Well said.
But this one was good. Yeah. And oh my goodness. Oh, I started watching Agents of Shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in. It's still very, very early to I'm not gonna pass judgment on 2. All I'm gonna say is that this series, at least the first 2 episodes, they feel like it could have been a great opener of a 90s series, mid 90s, right there with Knight Rider. No, Knight Rider was actually 80s.
Oh, yeah.
let's say maybe right there with the next generation. Ooh, Star Trek starts on the 24th.
Discovery. That's right.
Yes. I'm gonna
Do you
have to find a way.
CBS?
No, you can get it for free. But I'm not gonna give. Well, no, I say they have a trial. I should
Oh,
say
I was gonna
they
say.
have a trial. They have a trial. I'm not saying what you thought I was gonna say.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm saying that I'm thinking of getting the trial. Getting trial
Just to see it?
just to see the first episode. It depends. I'm a huge Trekkie. No surprise. But what was I talking about before? The
Marvel's Agents of
The Marvel Agents of Shield. They have likable characters. What? I don't know if I just say. Well,
Sky?
I don't know if I can say much of it. Yeah, that whoever that actress is.
Chloe Bennett.
Yeah, there you go.
She's probably like the most likable.
She is the most beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful women. But the series, it looks interesting. It looks interesting. I'm excited because I get to relive playing that from the from the beginning. The series starts right, or I guess a little bit after the events of the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of reference get thrown to that, although for some reason I don't understand.
Okay, so there's one major reference that you have to remember from the Avengers in order for it to make sense.
No. Yeah, okay.
And that is that, and this is not a spoiler. Well, it's a spoiler for Avengers if you haven't seen Avengers, but Coulson.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah. Of course.
That's a big
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
I do
he's one of
remember
the
that.
main
Yes.
things
But
there.
what I'm saying is no, I remember that. I remember the Avengers, and I remember Agent Coulson. But the events leading to here is where you stop watching the movie, the series, and you go into the Winter Soldier,
Oh, okay.
which is
That's
a
what
really, really, really good Marvel movie.
Probably the best. Is what
Probably. Yeah, do we agree with that?
I don't know if we agree. I
don't know if I
call
agree.
it the best.
I think
you
I-
think you still say that
Iron Man. I really like the
You know
Iron
what
Man.
you should do though? You should probably do the timeline, the Marvel timeline.
Oh no, I see. I was thinking of doing that, but then he wanted me to start with what's her
Carter?
name?
Agent
Agent Carter. Yeah, and I'm like, this looks like
Well, it's
this
not-
looks like too much work.
That's
It
a lot of work.
is, especially since they updated it with the newer movie, so it's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can get it done eventually.
No, probably not. I mean, remember,
Because he
it's
has
taking me
Destiny.
forever to watch to finish Breaking Bad.
I said eventually.
Eventually, when I'm 70.
Yeah.
When Avengers 4 has come out and when they have rebooted the whole thing.
The whole series. Twice.
Yeah. Oh man. What else? So Agents of Shield definitely will recommend giving it a try, giving it a go. I think that's mostly what I haven't been playing anything else. Honestly, it's all Destiny.
So to quickly piggyback, I'm gonna shoot it over to Shadow in a second here, but to quickly piggyback off of the Destiny thing, this is I was bringing that up earlier at work, where I was like, it's like I have this problem and I need you to help me with it. I need you to help me not buy Destiny 2.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Here's the problem.
He wants to buy it
Okay.
so badly.
No, I actually.
I tell you,
See, I don't know
get
how
near, and
no.
that way it'll
know
block.
what?
It'll Destiny block you.
You're probably right. That's probably like a great idea, dude. So
There you go. I screw myself over a Destiny buddy to play
I
with.
thought he was gonna say to convince him to buy it.
No. Not to convince me. To convince me not to buy it.
I was
And
like-
I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why is right now. That is where the mind share of many, many gamers are at. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's a lot of it that I don't know because I literally just played the first Destiny and just the vanilla, and I really didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I did any
You
raid
also-
or anything like
you
that.
didn't do
So-
any of that. You didn't do any
Didn't
of the
anything. No.
expansions.
So because of that, I was like, oh, whatever, But now, so many people are playing it. So many people who had problems with the first one are enjoying the second one.
Yeah.
But all of them go, oh, I've never played. Just listening and reading about the game and people playing the game. People are spending hours. They're going, man, time is like 5-6 hours here just
Yeah,
doing
not
this,
playing
whatever."
anything else.
Exactly, and I'm going, okay. I don't have the time for that. I know me. I don't have the time for that. So the reason why I say this is because I don't want to buy it if I'm not going to do that. You know,
Yes,
and since
yeah,
I know
yeah.
I'm not going to do it right now, it's just the fact that I'm literally playing the golf game because there's
'Cause
nothing
there's
else.
nothing
you know?
else.
So, although to be fair, I love the golf game.
No,
But
there's nothing wrong with
the point
that.
is that that's my problem. That's my
Yeah.
problem at the moment. I'm going, and that's actually a good idea that you mentioned. I might just do that.
I would say
Just to have
don't-
something else.
Don't get swept into the hype that much. It's not like, oh my god, this is the best game of this. No,
No, but
this
that-
is if you ever wish that Destiny 1 was complete, was a complete package,
You just
a
gotta
good game.
remember, though,
You know,
you're still playing a Destiny game.
it
all it
is,
is.
which is there's nothing. Yeah, which
Yeah,
is nothing
there's
to
nothing
sneeze
bad
at.
about it.
There's, but you already know that
Yeah,
gameplay.
yeah.
So this is more like, hey, they put a nice hood, they fixed it here, they put some
In
nice
other words,
suspensions, but
it's literally Destiny 1, but it's like they brought in a major patch and fixed everything.
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
My point is, regardless of that,
He doesn't want
you
it.
remember the Destiny still a good
Sud-
Destiny. The
yeah.
gameplay is still good.
Suddenly, the urge to get it just so I can play it and just be part of it, even though
Hey.
I know I'm not going to be part of it for long.
Year-
And I'm like, I'm not going to spend $60 to just play.
He just wants to
10,
get on
15
the
hours.
hype
And
train
of
with
the
everybody else.
well, shit. Since when have we become like so cavalier about pricing versus? Then if you spend 15 hours on it at $60, that's good.
No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that the primary portion of the game really is not the story portion of the game. It's after that. You know what I'm saying? So if I
Yeah.
spend little to no time like I did in the other one, then again I basically bought the game for
this-
not the right reason. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. I mean-
that's what I mean. And I know right now it's just because that hype is just calling. It's like, oh, man,
Yeah.
maybe I should just. Why not? Let me just go grab it. You know what I mean? What the hell? Even if I just play for a little bit. So
I mean, you
so
could have been
yes.
downloading it right now while we do the podcast and have
I
it
mean,
ready.
come on.
We go home and
Instead,
I'll
what
tell
did
my
I
wife
do?
I gotta.
I played golf because that first off is awesome. Well,
I mean-
that kept me away.
Come on,
So-
I've been asking about it for
No,
a good
yeah.
week
No,
how
I
the
know.
game was.
Where is your
Yeah.
destiny? Why are you not? What? Because I understand him, but you.
It's called I'm broke.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Shadow, you're up.
I,
Go.
we can fix that. I'll get the game for you, and then you pay me back. like I do
Like
it.
you did for me. Yeah.
And also,
And I screw you with that one, didn't I?
I'm kind of waiting for PC a bit.
Oh, there you go. Snap. Okay. All right. You're back on my guess.
So,
Found it. There you go.
What you been up to,
I
Shadow?
guess the one thing I'll start is with Persona.
Ah.
Yes. Give us a Persona report.
I finished the first two palaces. I'm looking for the third one now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're 172 hours on it already.
No. I'm surprised. Well, I think I'm about like 40 something, but like some of that's also idling
Yeah.
because I
There's a
would
lot of
idle
time, yeah.
up a little bit or like an hour doing stuff, and I'm
Oh.
also trying to bring my confidence up. So I've been trying to like in my head, trying to throughout the comp be like, okay, I'm gonna do this day. I'm gonna do this day. You know, try to even things out so that everything's.
So you're
know,
getting you're leveling up sort
Yeah.
of everything.
That's
at
the
a
one
time,
thing
yeah.
about it is that it's high school similar, but they do it because we're used to the RPGs where we can do whatever we want and get to the main
I
story.
think that was another
Eventually.
problem with it. Yeah.
Wow.
For me, I think that was another issue I
It's
had with it. It was just like
completely
it
understandable.
was structured to this day and
You have to. Okay. On this
hour
day,
and
you get to
time.
pick.
It's like, oh.
It's almost like a list. You select, okay, what do you want to do in this day? This or you want to go to the bowling alley. There's no bowling alley. You want to go
Batting cages.
with this person. You want to go out with this person to raise your persona and or your social link with them. Or do you want to study? Do you want to eat at this place?
I felt like sometimes I like
you want to go to the gym? Like literally.
I would go to the freaking library and sit there and study. I'm going, this is such a waste of time. What do I do?
You already no, because you have to play. See, you have to play the rules. It's like you already know that if it's a rainy day, okay, this is a rainy. I should be I should be raising my social skill with Anne. Yeah, but it's a rainy day, so if I study
In the
at the
diner.
restaurant, the diner, I get double points.
Double points on
It's
it.
all like time management with a little bit of resource management also, or
And I've always hated those games.
I think
We used
that's
to for a long
why.
time.
Because it's, hindering us. Like Morgana, she's keeping us from.
Morgana, the talking cat, for
Yes.
those in there.
Because, like I said, with normal RPGs, we're used to doing whatever we want, all the side quests, all this, and then main story afterwards. Not this one. So you have to time everything right. And then he's keeping you away from doing what you want to do.
Yeah. Now, to clarify, for those of you who don't know, when we say time, we don't mean like, oh, you gotta pick quick because time is running out.
No.
We mean like every activity you do consumes time, and then eventually
day.
you get to pick. I mean, you can still do whatever you like, quote unquote, between the between the spaces that it gives you. But let's say, for example, you want to go to the gym, that will take your afternoon.
Yeah.
And then when it's evening, if you study, well, guess what? Now you can't go out and raise your social link with anybody else because now the fucking cat wants you to go to sleep.
Yes.
So if that sentence makes sense to you, then yeah, go ahead. You're gonna love
This
Persona.
game is for you.
This
Yeah,
game is
don't
for you.
forget. I guess another example is the palaces. Those have deadlines. If you don't meet that deadline,
Yes.
game over for you.
Yeah. Those are, and this is. I think we have explained already what
yeah,
palaces
we have,
are,
yeah.
but just to
We
recap.
practically just said the whole game.
When we say palaces, we're talking about the dungeons
yeah.
that once the bad guy of the month, literally,
Pretty much.
once the bad guy of the month has been established, you have to run that dungeon, that palace, quote unquote, and meet him and destroy him or whatever before the last day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before the deadline.
See, that game works so great for me on Persona 3 and Persona 4. I still think that the problem that I have mostly with Persona 5 was that they screwed up the localization. To me, it was like some of the
felt
things
bad.
that were saying that were making no sense compared to the other. And I'm not saying they were like superb before because it's still like cheesy, Japanese high school drama thing, with some intricate, like in Persona 4, you're just uncovering a murder mystery. So it's kind of cool on that. And Persona 3, you're shooting yourself in the head a lot of times to get your personas out. And it was a lot more mysterious and darker and awesome. But
Then
yeah,
they
this
had
one
to
went.
tone it down because probably
They toned it way down. With this one, it felt a little bit too goofy with the Phantom Thieves and the stuff like that. I was like, okay, I think it feels, yes, super, super, super stylish. Stylish as all get up. It looks, those menus are the best menus on any game.
For real.
Well,
That's
it's
it.
Atlas. Come on.
Yeah. But that's it. It was like, it was just became too goofy for me.
Yeah.
My microphone fell down. I can't get up.
Man down. What was I gonna say?
Something about Overwatch.
Yes.
I'll get that. I'll get to that.
It was Persona. We were talking about Persona. Man, we're drinking a lot before we started. We got to tone this down. You can start the show. I can't stop rambling. And
I mean, you were talking, and I lost my train of thought. That's why. But it is.
I'll be quiet on my seat
Oh
over
yeah.
here now.
You know how you get how you fuse your personas?
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me a bit of Digimon, which is another game by Atlas. And to get more Digimon, you would have to go and fuse different Digimons to do this. So I was thinking sometimes I would go in there and then spend about a few minutes doing different personas,
fusions.
registering them. And then once I get all the new ones so far, then I'll rebuy the ones that I had.
Yeah,
as my
Yeah, that was my strategy.
game.
Also, it almost. I mean, that's the game, right? It has some element of a super element of Pokemon in it, where
That's
you're
what-
collecting these demons and stuff. Have you read the descriptions of some of the demons?
Yeah, they're actual. They're myths. Not they're mythology
Mythology, yeah, and
ones. They're actual.
some of those descriptions, man, they're like
Yeah, they're pretty
very
graphic.
screwed up. It's like, and also, some of those designs are very
Risky. Very risky.
hentai,
Oh, I think the biggest
extremely
one-
like whoa. It's like I'm surprised it has not been censored.
Well, it's Japan. They do it like it's very like lewd. They do it to a degree that it's borderline.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
why it's still like in the game.
Maybe you have
Wasn't
mosaic.
the game
okay.
like rated M though?
No.
No, was it teen?
This game's not M. No, this
Is
game's
it?
not
No,
M.
I
That's
don't
right.
think
I
it's
think
M,
it's
yeah.
teen. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did it to a borderline part.
No,
So-
I think it's M.
I thought it was.
I thought
That's
it was
why.
M.
I'm checking now.
All right.
All right, well,
Keep going. I'll check.
I get putting Persona on the side. I started to play Overwatch on PC a few days ago.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
things have
haven't done-
changed.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. I'm like, let me dust it off. And also, by the way, Overwatch is free for all platforms over the weekend.
Oh, you snap.
nice.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, and with free, that also means that they're having a sale on the game again.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
That's
we
what
should-
it is.
We should play Overwatch again. We keep
Dude.
saying it every episode.
Every-
Yeah,
Every time
you
it comes
do
up, yeah.
and then you'd be like, I don't
Remember
know,
when we were
feel like
younger? We used to have time to do this, to play, and
it. One
Never
match
happened
is
now.
5 minutes, literally.
now you're old, and it's like one game, one freaking. You get Destiny 2, it consumes your soul. Next thing you know, you are out on the
You
street.
see that? he has time for Destiny, but not Overwatch.
Well, I gotta prioritize.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get up to level 25 to do competitive on that and see how that goes well.
How to place out?
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys all saw my McCree play of the game.
Yes. I saw you posted it.
yeah.
Very nice.
Ooh, I should. Oh
Very
man,
nice.
I had a quadruple kill on the Crucible, and I saved it, and I forgot to post it.
Oh, well, there you go.
It was like, oh yeah, looks good. I don't think I saved it though. That's okay because I did save a triple kill, so
Well,
I'll be okay
You'll
with
do
that.
We'll
it.
post that
so
then.
that is a pro of why I love playing with newbies, but it's also a con because they have no idea what they're doing.
I like owning noobs.
So I'm trying to get at least most of my like cute pixel sprays while I'm still lower level.
Oh, okay.
Because once you get to higher, it's like
Impossible?
almost impossible.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
putting that to aside, I've been since yesterday was playing this adorable game called Slime Rancher.
Slime
Ranger.
Ranger.
Hey, is that one of the
Rancher.
free games?
No. I
She spent $40 on it.
no. It was free for Xbox, so my brothers had it, and
Yeah, it's games
I
of gold.
was like, all right, let me play this because I have it on Steam. I bought it a while ago when it was still alpha stage, but it's
Oh.
a complete game now. So I'm like, let me play this, entertain my niece, and I played it for a good 5 hours.
Wow.
It's fun?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because what you do, it's a slime rancher. You farm slime.
Really?
Different, yeah. You literally
Literally.
have a farm and it's empty, but then you have to make corals, which are their I want to say cages.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's a little bad, but
No, I
cages.
got you. Yeah.
So you go out into the wild, which is not far from your farm, and then you pick up different slime to put in your farm and get plorts, which they poop out, and you use it. You put it into the market.
I love this game.
And you get money for it. And
This shit's gonna have
like
to
it's
shut the fuck-
it has no story.
My phone, I mean.
I mean, it has story and parts of emails and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's so simple, and you get engrossed in it very easily. So I was playing it yesterday, and today I found out my older brother started playing. He's like, I was watching you, so I started playing, and
So
he's
he got into it.
probably still playing it.
Nice.
So Etsu's real name is Danny Serrano.
Danny Serrano.
From
that's
the
it.
group.
Yeah, from the group.
I am so sorry, Danny. I
Finally
am.
got
I'm
to
getting
it.
old. It's too many things. I'm juggling too many things on my head, and
It
I
happens.
forget things. But yes, I will never forget the help that you gave me on the Crucible yesterday.
By the way, Persona 5 is rated M.
There
I
you
told
go.
you.
See, yes, okay, all right. I was gonna say they say shit a lot. They say for real.
That's the worst. Yeah. That is the worst.
I mean, they're teenagers. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just teenagers.
So, I mean, it feels a lot like a bit like the farming wise, like Harvest Moon a bit, like you farming stuff, and there are even times that you can fuse slimes together. Because the pink ones are your basic. They're just literally blobs that are pink and base. And then there's other ones that there's rock slime that they're blue with
Hey,
little rocks sticking out of them.
Pink's life matter. All right.
And the funny thing is though is that eventually they'll eat other plorts. So if you throw if they eat a rock plort, they'll be pink but rocky.
Okay.
And another
says
thing
hi.
though, another thing though is that if they I believe eat another different plort, they can turn into a tar, which is like a rainbow black slime that eats everything,
Oh, okay.
and it'll attack you.
Wait.
So whenever
Attacks the owner.
I see them, I pick them
It's
up
like a
with your
gremlin. Can't
vacuum
feed 'em after
gun
midnight.
that used to catch the food and the slimes, and I throw it out into the water.
Oh, okay.
Why are you not playing Stardew Valley?
I do have it. It's just
I was going to say,
haven't played it in a
she is
while.
playing. You're the one that's not playing.
I know. I'm afraid of that game now. I'm very afraid of that game
Why?
because it can suck my life suddenly. Everybody that plays it, they say, "Oh no, you
Well,
don't understand. This is so
I
awesome."
mean, at least
and
now
stuff."
there's multiplayer, so that's probably why.
Oh,
There's
that's
multiplayer
all right.
in that? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a recent update. I mean, I wish Slime Rancher does have multiplayer though. So while somebody's taking care of the farm, you can go do stuff.
In that Stardew Valley, you can delegate stuff or automate things, or that's too far ahead. You haven't gotten the automation part.
I think you can do it, but I don't know. But that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. Well, other than that golf game, everybody's
what,
golf.
the one for everybody.
The one for everybody.
Oh,
The only thing I've been doing is really watching a lot of movies, catching up on some movies that I missed.
you will never catch up to,
Well,
to
I mean,
other movies.
you got to make an attempt every so often. You know what I mean? So
It's like for every one that you watch, you add 3 to your queue.
this is the problem. It's the sickness.
is a
I tell you,
problem.
it's the sickness. So I watch. I'm gonna pass through this one very quickly because I'm pretty sure we brought it up before when you saw it. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah,
It was okay. That's about as good as
Yeah,
I
I
can
heard
say.
that they've been milking the comedy side of it
They
mostly.
well, yeah. The problem is I guess my issue is not comedy because any movie should have. Even The Dark Knight had comedy. You know what I mean? And it's okay when it's done correctly.
yeah.
Here, for some reason, they went to from regular comedic moments to slapstick.
Hey,
You know what I
let's
mean?
make this Police Academy almost.
Yeah,
like.
that's what I'm saying. That's slapstick
Yeah.
comedy. It's like, that's not what it was. So that was my issue with it. I did enjoy some parts. I think I was telling David that I enjoyed Yandu's character.
Yeah, he was
just like
he
his
was
story
pretty
arc
good.
in the
Yeah, his
the
story arc
movie
was
pretty
interesting,
good.
yeah.
Didn't he have a more important part in this movie than the
He
other one?
well, they kind of elaborate a little bit more on his part from the first one.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that.
They make the-
I think that was really much the only character that I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
want to know what's going on.
I felt like this movie made all the other characters that I liked of it. They make them more likable, and yet the
Silly.
character that I didn't think it was gonna develop,
Correct,
I
yeah.
kind of like it.
Exactly,
So it's
yeah.
like at the end of it, it's like okay, this character's pretty cool, but now I don't really care about this.
The rest of them, yeah,
The rest,
yeah,
and not even little Groot, did it for me.
yeah.
It was
Groot
like-
wasn't. I mean, he was. I guess he was an adorable character, but it was like, I guess it was a little bit over the top. It's just a little
Yeah.
too. I was like, okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the somewhat comedic relief when there wasn't none, or
Yeah, it wasn't unnecessary. I don't know. It was.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was literally right now that of the Marvel films, that's probably right at the bottom, which means it's below Iron Man 2.
Oh shit!
which
Yeah,
if
Iron Man
you-
2.
yeah,
I
you
love Iron
remember
Man
that
1.
one.
Iron Man 2. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
That
I
was the
picked
one
it
with
back
the
up
guy
with
with the
Yeah, Whiplash. Yeah.
with the
Yeah, yeah. So I saw that, and so take what I said. I mean, if
You'll
you
be
like it,
warned.
like it, yeah.
You'll be warned.
Not to say it was bad because it wasn't a bad film. It just wasn't a very
I didn't like
good
the
film.
storyline.
And the storyline was ridiculous. The storyline
storyline.
had zero connection to the main plot of
Mm-hmm.
the Infinity War and all
Yeah.
that. Nothing to attach to it, unless they tie it into another part. But there's nothing to attach.
how
to
are
it,
they
so.
gonna do it when they remember the little crossover thing with Guardians of the Galaxy and was
The
it
Avengers? The next Avengers?
The what?
Wasn't it? Wasn't it Avengers? When
The-
they're gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah,
a
they're
little-
all gonna come into the
Yeah.
Infinity War. That's the next
So
one.
then,
Yeah.
how are they gonna do that then?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see because I have no clue. I don't know how the connection is going to be. I know the first connection, or I heard the first connection is supposed to be Thor Ragnarok, and so that'll be the first one that connects.
That I was
Yeah.
really looking forward to that one.
Well, we'll see, sir. We'll
Yeah.
see. And then, of course, I saw Baby Driver.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How
What'd
was
you
that?
think? What'd you
That
think?
was actually I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I love the freaking soundtrack.
Yes,
the soundtrack is
the
like
is
the
legit.
shit,
It's,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard that like
Yes,
a really good part. Of the
Really, I
soundtrack.
went to Spotify immediately. I was like, got the soundtrack. The movie overall was really good. Again, very stylish. Edgar Wright what the heck is the
Scott
Pilgrim? Yeah, Scott
Pilgrim versus the
Pilgrim.
World.
He's also the one who originally he didn't get to finish. He wasn't the one who did it, but he was supposed to do Ant-Man.
Oh, wow.
He actually scripted it originally and did all this stuff, and it went for years. And whatever happened, basically by the end, he wasn't the one who ended up doing it, and the script was changed a little bit. So what we saw wasn't the final, wasn't his product, and we didn't get to see it through his eyes. I would love to see Ant-Man.
That would have
through
been
his
really
eyes,
interesting. Yeah.
Well, I guess I have another movie to watch.
Yes.
I mean, I loved Scott
Yeah,
Pilgrim.
Yes, definitely. My only issue with, and I'm not going to go into spoilers. My only issue with Baby Driver was it was awesome for the first two-thirds of the movie, and it didn't quite stick the land. The last third of the film wasn't as awesome as the first two. You know what I mean? The first two
Well, to
thirds.
say stylish and bombastic, that first
Correct, yes,
beginning part,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Even the opening, right when it opens, and that the titles and all that is very the credit
really
is,
really well done.
Yeah,
Like I said,
very stylish.
very Edgar Wright. And the driving scenes, the getaway scenes. For the record, Baby Driver is basically a heist film. Is what it is, but done completely different. It's got a ridiculous cast. You've got Kevin
Spacey's there.
You got what is his name? I forgot his name now. Anyway, you got a pretty good cast in there. And a lot of people too. And I enjoyed. John Hamm was in it. He's from. Oh gosh, I'm blanking out on all these people, but
he got here.
there you go. Yes, okay. So John Hamm, you would probably know him from what is this show that he's in? Mad Men. He's from Mad Men. And then of course Jamie Foxx, which you should know Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. John Bernthal, he was from Walking Dead. He played I'm dying, dude. I forgot his name, but I mean, it's got a great cast overall.
He has a 93% I saw on Rotten Tomatoes.
And definitely
Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Yeah.
He's becoming really southern now.
Yeah, tomatoes. No, so I definitely recommend that one. And then finally, the last one that I saw was The Big Sick, which of these three would probably be my favorite film that I saw.
Yeah, then
The Big Sick. I won't go into detail. It's one of those. I saw the trailer for this, and knowing what was going to happen. Not knowing, but knowing what it was leading to, and the title kind of obviously gives it away. But the point is that if you can go in blind, it's even better.
It's a romantic comedy.
It is. It's a romantic comedy and drama.
All right.
It is.
Well, now you
I
have
think the
something to
best
watch with
part
your
of it
wife.
is
David.
first off, it's a true story. It's based on a true story. The guy who's playing it, this is actually the story. You know, he's telling every story. Him and his wife wrote the story, and this is about them. The best part of the movie is how realistic the everything is. Everything is it's not. God, how do I say this? It is not. Everything isn't roses. You know what I mean? That's not how life is. You know what I mean? How they meet is, realistic. It has weird things. I think about. I looked at it. And I think about how I met my wife, and I go, my God, what a weird way of meeting somebody. You know, you just,
All right, I'm sold.
you don't meet somebody in a you know, in a bar or something like. I mean, I guess people do meet in a bar, but I'm saying
Yeah.
for the most part, you don't meet the who you spend the rest of the
Ideal
bar. You know,
situations are
Yeah, like-
very hard to.
They're always
and usually
weird.
when they seem to happen, they're not usually the ones that stick.
They're always odd situations. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And and this is how real this story felt to me. And it's funny on top of that. It's just good.
That's
it's
a
just
bit-
good. It's
that-
also family. How family affects your relationships. That's a huge thing in it. I won't say how or why, but you know how everybody has sometimes a family who has either beliefs or traditions or stuff like that.
Without spoiling, how does it compare to say my big fat Greek wedding?
Oh no, nothing
something like that?
No,
Nothing
nothing
like
like
that?
that. Because
Okay.
my Greek wedding had a little bit of silliness in this. This doesn't really have silliness. It just feels real. It
Okay.
feels realistic.
And it has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You got tomatoes. It is yes.
Before we sign out, do you have any shows that you've watched?
No, I have not started anything yet. I finished Marvel Agents of Shield. I'm wanting to start a couple of. I have like a
Uh-huh.
trove of stuff that I need to go through, but I haven't started any of it yet. But I will eventually. All right, guys, so we're going to go right into some news items. I want to start with myself. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You never start with
Neither one of us have our phones up, so
Yeah, there you go.
You got the cue.
I do. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
The floor is mine, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. So
Take it away.
There was a trailer released recently, this week, I believe. Tomb Raider, the remake, or I guess reboot of Tomb Raider film series, without
The media
Angelina
property
Jolie.
that has been rebooted more times.
Has it?
Well, I'm talking about in the sense of games and movies.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yes. So this is, of course, without Angelina Jolie. So she is not even part of this. I've seen it before. David just saw it now. Shadow just has seen it before. What do you guys think? Starting with you, Shadow.
It reminds me of the Tomb Raider game, the first one.
The first one, yeah.
The way it goes,
better.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's literally like a rework of like, from what I'm thinking of the game into a movie. But
Yeah.
it looks good though.
Okay.
Like I want to see what this actress does because I've never seen it before.
Her? No, I've never seen her before either. I'll have to look her up here. Sir, what do you think about the Tomb Raider movie?
It is the excellent plot for a game of Tomb Raider.
Right.
You know, she goes discover. Dad had apparently in the trailer it shows this. Dad is dead or is he?
Or
The
missing,
thing is,
or
or missing, whatever. You know, she goes into the secret compartment of his office and gets a secret recording which says, "Lara, if you were seeing this, I'm mostly dead." And something. Oh, in Trinity,
Most
it's
stereotypical, thing.
if Trinity develops or whatever, the world's in danger. So I want you to contact the authorities and, oh, no, wait, that would make more sense. Let me send my daughter to stop whatever the huge organization of evil. It is in your hands. It's like, God, so ridiculous.
You know what? If she actually did contacted the authorities, then that would be in the end of the movie.
I know, that's what I'm
It
saying.
would literally be like
That's what I'm saying.
a few
It's
minutes
like,
long and be like, oh, end credits.
It's like you gotta be careful how you write these things because you still. I mean, granted, I give it that. I know I'm expecting too much from the super fantastical setting that is Tomb Raider, but when it's like that in your face, it's kind of like, oh, really? That's how this. I trust the. I prefer the story of the reboot of this recent reboot. Hey, she became a survivor. You know, her boat crash or whatever, and now she's dealing with her, even though she develops like superpowers like ridiculously fast almost. But still, it's more.
Yeah, but it's a game.
Yeah,
In the end.
yeah, the
think
game's a game,
also,
and this movie is also a game.
Well, I think they're also trying to put a YSG there. I'm pretty sure. I know it probably it explains in the game, but they want to show it like
Sure.
whatever thing.
So I'm going to see this movie. I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to see
You better
this
take
movie.
me to see it.
When you say that, you say movie theater. You're gonna
Yes,
go.
I'm going to
you're
go
gonna
to
spend that
the theaters
$30.
to see this. We may usually do a review of it. Who knows? But I know I'm going to go see it.
I will go if I have to.
I know that I'm going to give
gonna
it
have to be
its
dragging in by his
fair
collar.
due. That it will, I'm going to hope that it does well. However, this trailer does not sell me on this film. It just looks really, really generic.
It looks very campy.
Yeah, it looks
It is.
very by the numbers adventure film.
It's gonna have the trailer where it's gonna get very intense, and then everything will stop.
Yeah, there was clearly scenes from the game that they literally mirrored into the
Yeah.
movie. And I'm like, okay, I see where you're going here.
They
And
that's
lifted
fine.
it from the
In
game.
other
Yeah,
words,
live-
if
live.
you played the game
And-
already, then you probably don't have to see this.
Well, no, because from
It's
what I
actually
can
from
tell,
it's actually from the
Joking.
Uncharted games that they lifted them.
Joking.
yeah, the story is completely. It appears to be. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so it appears to be completely different because that's not the reason she goes out there in the thing. But it is.
My
what it is.
dad sent me.
Of course not.
Yeah. So, by the way, you would probably recognize her. She's been in several films. You'd probably recognize her only from Ex Machina. She played the.
She was a robot
droid-
lady.
yeah, Ava.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's
nice.
who she
All
was,
right.
yeah.
I didn't recognize it without hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
had-
see, I only
or silver
saw
body.
bits and pieces
Great.
of
Oh, silver
that,
body.
so
Exactly. Transparent body.
she's
That movie's
still new to
excellent.
me.
that
Really?
movie was great.
It was great.
All right. So who has the next piece there?
So, I was thinking that,
Miss Shadow.
so, I bet you they're probably gonna make a game of that. Oh wait, they already did.
Oh snap!
I see. All right, I'll go. So Xbox One, evidently, is getting third-party camera support for game streaming.
Oh,
That's nice. That is very
Sounds
nice.
okay.
That is kind of cool, right? Right?
I mean, better than Sony with you have to buy.
Oh, the Sony branded. Oh no, not even the Sony brand. The PlayStation branded
Camera.
one camera. Exactly. Well, you would think, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Unfortunately, for some reason, or
cons.
hopefully this is temporary, but I don't see it. Honestly, you are right now on this alpha that they're testing it. You can only stream to Mixer,
oh,
which is Microsoft's version
Yeah.
of Twitch. They wanna push
oh yeah, they do.
like
Yeah.
badly,
Of course they do.
and well, that's an issue. That to me is an
When
issue.
you have your own streaming
Platform, yeah.
streaming service for your own console, they're gonna keep pushing it.
No, of course, and I get what they're doing. What they're doing. Honestly, it's just you're not really giving us a lot of options here because then what if I want to put it on Twitch where
You
I
have
could
to
have
use
my
the game.
friends
Yeah,
watch it.
exactly. The majority of people I know
Yeah,
are-
exactly.
So, question: wasn't the I know they don't come with it now, but wasn't the Kinect a camera that you can use to stream? And that's,
Yeah, it
that
wasn't
also-
a very good
It-
camera.
it
Honestly,
really wasn't,
No, it was
and-
never. It was never
Couldn't- it can't
considered
be.
a meeting,
No.
a streaming camera.
It was
No, I don't think
mostly
it was
meant
better
for
than
motion.
really.
than the
I
PlayStation
mean, it can't
9.
be much worse in it.
I
mean, not that it's
would
bad,
think So.
just saying.
I mean, it was. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't
Wow,
stream
it
on
was
that.
bad.
It was pretty bad. Honestly,
Wow.
yeah. Now that I think about it, I mean, I'm talking
also-
about the Kinect that I remember, which
The
I owned, which was the
361?
361. I don't know.
Well,
the
no, I'm
big-
referring to the
No,
one.
the
Yeah.
one is actually decent, but here's the catch though. If you get a 1S, that doesn't really support the Kinect. You would have to order a adapter for your Kinect.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
If
an
you
issue.
have-
So I think they probably did that for the
I think Kinect is the issue.
They said the S is not even compatible with its own Kinect.
that's
Oh
the
yeah,
way
no.
they made it, yeah.
The moment they did the S
That is
was to
hilarious.
step away as far from
Oh, no,
Kinect
I
as
g-
possible.
I get it, but I'm like, wow.
Nobody
Yeah.
wanted to do the motion game. So I think
Like
that's
Sony's
also
gonna do right now with VR.
I think that's
You know what's
also
happening.
why they
You know
did
what's
the
happening.
that you can do your plug it in your own camera because probably the One X will most definitely be far away from the Kinect as much as possible.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They were like, no, you don't have to use, no, Kinect, what is that? No, you can just plug that in. A Logitech, sure, go ahead, plug it in. That'll work.
But question though, will any other cameras work for the PS4? I mean, nobody's really
No.
used it before.
gonna say, I don't
Nobody's
think
ever
so.
tried.
No, I tried.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
Well, I don't- you know.
We would have heard about it by now.
No. So anyway, this is actually being tested on the for those insiders that are part of the preview alpha ring right now. But it's coming. It's gonna roll out. I just hope that eventually
It opens up to the
it
other
opens
platforms,
up to YouTube and Twitch and all that, because otherwise, I mean, like, what's the point? Really, they're not in a position where they can use their brand to leverage, trying to bring another one. Anyway, first, I mean, right now, Xbox, you need all the support from anything.
I was gonna say,
you
yeah.
need all the good vibes that you can get.
You need people to
Because
play your console.
You are depending
force them not to.
way too much on Cuphead for some reason. You're putting way too much weight on a simple game. Well, not a simple in the sense that, not dividing, but a single game, I should have said. Yeah.
Miss Shadow, what's your piece of news?
So, how would you feel if there is a game service that's like Netflix? They play a subscription, and you can play as many games as you want.
EA Play? EA has one.
Yeah, but it's only EA games, no?
It is only EA games. So,
The
Jump.
PlayStation. Jump!
yes, it's called Jump. It is a indie game.
Oh yeah. We
Oh,
had
there you
that,
go.
We had that in the news topic before. Is it finally out?
I would assume, and now you only pay $10.
Oh,
month.
$10?
subscriptions
Yes,
are okay.
to a lot of games, an unlimited number of games, and every month they will be adding 10 new titles to their catalog.
Wow. So, which platform is this?
PC only.
PC.
Okay.
PC,
And
Mac, Linux. Yeah.
so, this is not streaming, right?
I'm sure you can stream it.
No,
I believe it is.
I mean,
believe it is a stream
I mean,
service.
is it no? If it's a stream service, no.
Well, they're kind of like what they say is like it's like a mashup between like Netflix and
Although I mean, let's be real.
Spotify as community wise.
I mean, even with those services, they have allowed now for you to download it. Even Spotify.
That's what I'm
can
saying.
download
If you
it,
can download the
Netflix, I can
game-
download. Yeah. So chances are that's probably
Yeah, I'm sure. Like the only way you'll be able to play it is probably downloading.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. First off, if they're indie games, they're probably not that big of a files to download.
Well, yeah, they are indie, and from what I recall before, Jump uses a web-based technology that allows them to launch games directly in the Jump client.
Oh, like Congregate used to be for
But I'm sure
GameStop
it'll be
had that.
like a app launcher.
GameSpot.
You'll probably have
GameStop. Sorry.
to launch an app launcher.
Oh, launch, yeah, it's primary
Is
app,
it
yeah.
browser based? I don't know. I mean, as long as it plays good, well, and smooth, I'll be down. I'm,
Yeah, and if
you
we're
know.
talking, like I said, indie titles that don't tend to be
And full
bigger,
screen,
yeah.
none of this. Like, hey, I'm inside a browser.
Oh,
you know,
no,
no,
definitely
that's because then that's not really. That's just a fancy flash game.
'Cause, I thought you might like it.
No, I do, yeah.
Because it's all indie games, and I love indie games. I might actually just look at it, or
Even if you can go in and out of it, a service, you can pay $10 for that month, try a few of the games, maybe not renew the next month and come back later when the library has improved, or not improved, but has included stuff you actually want to try. No, I think it's great. I think it's a great thing. I hope it's sustainable. I hope the model that they choose to do this is sustainable, but we'll see.
very much.
We'll see what happens. But that's a good one. Jump. This is kind of a very small news, but not news. It's one of those no news.
Let's talk about it and then not talk
And
about
then
it.
I'll talk about it. So I guess I should start out. How long have we been waiting for the freaking Star Wars trailer, guys?
Oh my God! Yes,
Forever?
for the Star Wars 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
recall when that happened?
Shoot,
not
that should have
really.
come out like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
No. Do you recall when it was that D22? Do you recall when D22 happened?
Oh, was
When
that
they
in May?
first showed it? April.
April?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
see,
are in
that's far
freaking
back.
September,
And still
we
nothing.
still have nothing.
Wow. And meanwhile, we're getting a new Star Trek in a couple of days.
Exactly.
There you go.
You
Good
know
job.
what? Abandoning
Yeah, we've
Star
been
Wars for
waiting
Star
exactly.
Trek.
5 months.
So that said, a gentleman by the name of Mark Hamill, when he was asked on Twitter,
Oh, yeah. He's the one that plays Yoda.
yes,
What a place.
yeah, he has a squeaky little voice. When he was asked by a fan when
He's
the
a Yoda
trailer
impersonator.
for The Last Jedi would finally be available, he said on his blog he wasn't exactly
What Star Wars? What are you talking about? Get off my lawn.
what.
Because he's old.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So he said he wasn't
Wow.
sure,
Get out.
but he
Sorry.
proposed tuning in to a Monday Night Football game on October 9th.
Oh, of course. They're going to tie it up with football.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
So-
I have to watch the Patriots lose in order to watch the freaking trailer. of
I
But
think
you
it
don't
would
even
be
have-
worth it.
I mean, honestly.
the Patriots lose to the Cowboys.
Oh man, that'd be
I have to
great.
watch-
That'll be great, and we get a Star Wars trailer. Holy shit! That's, dude, that
It's
is
your
a-
night. It's your Christmas.
Are you kidding me? That's the best Monday night ever, dude. Right there.
You know, honestly, I can see how it happened for people who don't really watch football. They'll have the game playing. They'll be doing
That's-
something else, but the minute they hear like, whoa, hold on, let me.
So let me
go
show
sit
you the
down.
tie-in here. Let me show you the tie-in. So this is Star Wars, right?
Uh-huh.
Which is owned by Disney, right? Monday Night Football, okay, that's on ESPN, right?
Which is owned by
also,
Disney.
Also by Disney. So this is the
the
6 degrees
empire
of-
is
yeah.
pretty much taking over here. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
yes.
Believe it or not, he unfortunately had to delete the tweet because he was probably told by Disney, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
You don't tell Luke to delete no tweet.
So when he was asked later, he said, I don't know. It's up, it's whenever they decide.
I was
to, yeah.
drunk. I'm old. Get off my lawn.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so keep an eye out. Maybe October 9th, Monday Night Football. I will. That's for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, because it's gonna be hard for you to stay awake watching football.
No, not even a little. And then, of course, hopefully, that's actually 2 months away from the movie
You
release
never
date.
know. We might get it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, no,
Afterwards.
that's
No,
yeah,
the
of course.
moment, yeah, the moment of
Afterwards.
release.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah,
we'll
most
be playing. So interesting news. Apparently, someone discovered that buried in the Switch code, there is
The Nintendo Switch.
the Nintendo Switch. There is a emulated version of the NES. You remember NES Golf?
I do.
Vaguely.
I'm talking about.
Very vaguely.
I thought I did also, but I was thinking of Mario's Golf and not NES Golf.
Yeah, no, NES Golf. Yeah.
NES Golf. Apparently, it's like inside. It's already pre-programmed in the code of the Switch. Reports are that it is with motion controls, mind you, motion controls program on it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now, how is that going to go?
Well,
Wii
'cause
Golf all over
because
again?
the Switch has because the Switch has the Joy-Con support and all that. So
I'm making a
so-
stab at Wii.
and apparently, but only to be playable on July 11th, which, if you guys recall, on 2015, that was the date that the former Nintendo president Satoru Iwata passed away. So, interestingly, I didn't believe this at first, but there has been a lot of video out there, a lot of report, and it comes from sources that have been like legitimized already, before.
Credible. They're credible
They're
sources.
credible, exactly. So
I think that's pretty interesting.
it is
It is.
It's also, if I'm not mistaken,
like a
that
little
would be his
treat.
first game that
Yes.
he programmed for Nintendo when he was still just a programmer.
Mouse thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's easy to hide away. I mean, how much memory can that game really take up? You
a
know
few
what I mean?
megabytes at
Yeah.
most.
Let me see. A source who claimed to get this to work that says, I simply put Joy-Cons parallel to each other and positioned towards the ground, then raised them up in a vertical position and waited. And the screen turned black. An audible cue was played, and then I was greeted with the golf menu.
Oh.
So
That's nice.
Yeah, he kind of
One more reason to get a Switch, guys.
So here I got I read a little theory about that. So
Yeah.
it was a little heartwarming. So Iwata is just you know when people go to the shrines, they put like the paper wishes and like the paper.
Oh yeah, the shrines in Japan.
Yes,
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
give you stuff for good
Fortunes
luck.
and stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
the good luck stuff. So someone was saying that they put it in the switches because it's Iwata, so they would put them in the switches and give it to people as good luck charms.
That's
So it was a
Oh.
little
very
heartwarming
sweet.
theory.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah. More than likely, though, this is if you know. I could believe that it's true because it's not the first time that we see games embedded in system code. I mean, the Sega Master System had a little snail on a maze game that you can activate activating a code, and you didn't have to insert any cartridge or anything like that. You just have to press the button in a specific way with the system on a specific menu, and you will get one of them mazes. And then it was a snake, and you had to find your way out. So it's not the first time.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Codes. I mean, hello. Remember cheat codes? People used to do that shit all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like inside code
No,
games
no.
and code. But I think
The hidden games.
more legitimate. I think this is nothing more than something that's programmed already there, maybe for developers that are making games, kind of like to test the motion control system or see if this is an example of a code and they can just grab it and use it on
I
their
think
games
also,
or something.
Like another like heartwarming, I guess. I think they just did it just people who are fans of Nintendo just to be like, oh, that's awesome.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
you like to think that.
yeah. That'd be
Just
the
a bit.
nicest
I mean,
way to think
that's
of it.
probably why to the developers, but that's also a nice thought too, because a lot of people will probably think of it as that way.
Yeah,
Perhaps. Perhaps, yeah.
yeah.
That'd be nice. That's a nice sentiment.
That'd be nice.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice. So, I'm saving the best for last.
Oh,
So-
wait a minute. Who says we were last? I still
No,
have more.
no.
I'm
I'm
kidding. I
saying
don't have
I'm
it.
saying the best for last. I
Okay,
don't
all
have
right,
the best yet.
so this is okay.
In a second. YouTube's becoming a lot like Twitch now. Apparently, gaming has added sponsorships. earlier in the week,
Oh,
like with Twitch.
oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah. They,
So
they
what-
had it in beta with a few streamers to see how it works. Seems like people love it. So fans with these sponsorships, they can pay $5 a month, support their favorite channels. Like you remember Twitch with their $5 a month. So they're really milking the whole let's compete with Twitch thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Twitch will still be.
I think that's the idea. Yeah, because they want to monetize
Mm-hmm.
it because that way, off of that $5, they get their cut.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the idea
also
all
means
along.
that they don't have to partner a lot of people. For YouTube gaming, that means they would
They would just make the money off of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
don't have to, yeah.
with the sponsorship, it'll be like Twitch with your whole emotes, badges, yada yada, the whole shebang.
That'd be good. Badges?
Yeah, you
We
get.
don't need no stinking badges.
Because
I see what you
if
did
you
there.
noticed, Twitch did the whole. I saw what you did, too, but you know how Twitch did the whole, like their most recent update did the whole badges. If
The
you
badges, yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah. I've seen them on our. It mentions it every time I go to our channel, but yeah. Hopefully that. I don't know. I don't think they can take down.
maybe we should probably start doing.
No, but it's good to have competition.
Definitely.
It is.
It definitely
Very
is.
good.
Always good to have competition.
Because that means you're not the whole big shebang of everything.
Shebang. Oh, sorry.
Twitch owned by Amazon.
It is
Yeah.
freaking Amazons everywhere, dude.
Well, wasn't it
Taking over everything.
Time.
wasn't Twitch owned by it was owned by Yahoo at the very beginning, and then Amazon took over.
I think it was owned by Justin TV, and then Justin TV
Gave it
went
to
over,
Yahoo.
and I don't remember the Yahoo part, but
Yeah,
you
I
might be
remember
right.
there was a Yahoo owned it for a bit, but remember Yahoo's not
Doing very
practically
well.
not there anymore because they got bought off,
Yeah,
and then Amazon took over.
Well,
and now
hopefully-
with Amazon Prime, you can get badges or some
Yes,
shit like that.
Yeah,
no,
we
with-
don't
You can
need-
promote. You can promote Twitchers with. I
but
think
you
it
also
give you,
get in-game loot with Twitch Prime.
Oh yeah, they have
which I
given.
do.
Yeah, giving.
I check like every month.
When are they gonna start giving me engrams?
That's all you want right now.
I want engrams.
Oh,
Powerful
I think
engrams.
as a group, we should also start I guess streaming on both, maybe.
By all
Questionable?
means, or you can start the YouTube or a channel. That's
the thing
fine,
is,
yeah.
the programs will stream to both. It's just listen. I want
we're
us
so used to Twitch.
I want us to grow an audience on one before we
Before
start
we try
into
to
the other
expand.
one. Because
Makes
then,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
It makes sense, but I mean, eventually we can do both.
oh yeah, if YouTube's still there,
Yeah.
YouTube will always be there.
that was exactly the thing. Yes,
My last piece of news is sort of a major one. Well,
son of a what?
Sort of a major one.
Oh, I thought you called me something. Go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Fortnite has been on the news recently.
What?
For a couple things. One, I'm 100% behind. All right.
Fortnite.
Yes.
Because I talked about
Very
Fortnite last
briefly,
week.
very briefly, there was a moment in Fortnite where people were able to cross play between Xbox One and PS4
Awesome.
over the weekend, and Epic Games confirmed that. Quote: We had a configuration issue that has now been corrected.
How much you want to think that's actually true?
Yes, I'll be like,
don't know.
We had a configuration issue. Wink, wink. I appreciate you reporting on Fortnite now available on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes,
Because I didn't know if it was
And PC.
for Xbox. Honestly,
it is. Yeah, it is. Actually, I thought for a long time that it was an exclusive to Xbox, but apparently I was wrong. That said, Sony, of course, has said nothing about.
Of course not.
They're probably
and
like
they reached
shocked
out-
or something. They're just
no, I'm sure they were like,
I'm joking.
turn the shit off. They were like, just turn it off.
If you really think about it, in a way, they could, I believe, get tried in court for this because they defied what a company said that they shouldn't be doing.
No, because the problem here is that they're going to be like, well, this was a system issue, and if it's a system issue, if it's truly a system issue, then it is what it is. That said,
yeah.
I think it's time. I think we've reached that point, guys.
Yes.
Let crossplay happen.
Yeah.
Sony,
It's ridiculous.
stop the BS.
Yeah.
Just
Well, if I
let it
remember-
happen.
What are you so afraid of?
I have
If
no
you
idea.
are
losing the audience, that's really what it is.
if you
yeah.
are, I mean, who's gonna want to see like, hey, I can play with my friends on next. Oh, this game's available on Xbox also. Which, by the way, it doesn't have any other games, but I guess I'll just cross
you
the
know-
border now.
You know,
It's
I
like-
kind of wish they did crossplay because this is why I got an Xbox to play with my brothers. Because mind you, they only have Xbox, not
Yeah.
PlayStation.
If you can,
And
it-
supposedly-
And it's aggravating
it's
to
just-
not do that.
we're at that point.
Yes,
where
yeah,
it
yeah.
just
it doesn't matter
yeah,
anymore.
just do it.
It's-
Just
Especially since
it.
every other company says yes, and you're the only company who's saying no.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Only one
Even
saying it.
Nintendo.
who is like known for being very
very
closed
stingy and
yeah,
very
yeah.
close-minded when
okay
it comes
with
to online thing and hey, Sony, you said you listen to your players, you're for the players
You're
or
not
hashtag for
listening.
the players. Hey, your players are asking you for this. They're not saying no. Screw that. We don't want to play with no Nintendo Knights or with no Xbox or no PC Master Racers or they want
Those actually open up probably honestly it would be this I think surge in online gaming the moment it happens. The moment
Yeah.
they say, hey, we'll do it, whatever, we'll turn it on.
So tell me how this works. If let's say, for example, Rocket League, which is available everywhere. So Rocket League on Xbox can play against PC of Rocket League and against Nintendo. Sony Rocket League can play against PC.
PC.
All right. So what happens when a portion of the people on PC, a portion of the people that play against the PC, how should I say this? If there's a group, there's a couple people on PC, right? And then one player is on Xbox, and then the other player is on PlayStation. Let's say, it's four
group,
players.
yeah, a group, yeah.
What happens there? Or does Sony suddenly sees that, oh no, this game has an Xbox presence. Let's not pick that and just
don't
quick
know.
play with
There'll probably be something that reroutes them somehow.
Can I say a bit of something? Like I have a
say
little-
something.
Because if you really think about it, they're kind of losing a bit of money with this because, one being, like I said, me and my brothers have different consoles, and we mostly play Warframe. Remember, Warframe's on PS4, Warframe's on Xbox, PC, yeah. So if they did crossplay, I wouldn't have to buy an Xbox, which is really nice, by the way, and I wouldn't have to make another account. I'd just be with what I have, play with them, and they'll still be making money if they did crossplay. One, because if you have like say Battlefield, and you have it one on PS4, and you have a friend who's playing Xbox, you know what they're gonna do? If you say you got Battlefield, be like, all right, I'll buy that game.
Yeah, let me go buy the game.
At the end of the day, they make their money off the game, not the consoles. So, and even if let's say Sony, well, the person that now would have been obligated to buy another PlayStation for their sibling could now play an Xbox. Will have now a choice. So let's say they do that. The good, even if it's a tiny percentage loss. The good vibe and the good word and the good PR that you get for allowing that more than overshadows,
Also,
the
don't forget,
little loss that you will have from that. You probably
you have a loss, yeah.
If
You may not have a loss, yeah.
Exactly, even if.
don't forget, Xbox did this during 360. They were like, no, we don't want to do no crossplay. No.
Yeah, but now they realize they
It's a
need
good thing.
all the help that they
Especially
can
No, wait. I didn't know this. Did this happen with in the 360 era for real?
Yeah. They literally said we don't want to do everything exclusive to the dog. This is before they did the whole mashup with PC.
get. Oh, they were keeping things. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Now
against
since-
what? Against PlayStation or against playing against PC?
I think with PlayStation, they're just like, we don't want no crossplay with whatever. And then with the whole PC thing, like, it's actually a good thing. Let's actually deal with everybody else.
On this,
I
on this
feel like
console
I
generation.
fuld like we would have heard about this.
I
That
don't
would have
know,
been the
that's
argument
yeah.
thrown on it. So
They could have.
please let me know if you can source. Please source me that information because that would be a very interesting point. Because then they'll be like, oh, but wait a minute, Xbox. You used to do this also. Don't be no bullshit. Because when you were in first place, you were also this skittish. And find me that information. I'm not gonna say yes or nay if it's true or not just yet. If you can
I'm
find
sure
that information,
someone will do.
because that is a major counterpoint that I'll be
And-
shocked that no other
Sources
source.
I think,
no other website has mentioned it either.
So I think like another thing, which is really stupid, they might even think they might lose money, which they will not actually.
Yeah, it does.
They
What
won't
he just
lose
said.
money at all.
Yeah. Phil Spencer tweeted after it was shut off. I would have liked to see them leave it on.
Phil Spencer.
Yeah. So
I love that guy.
Because
You got. Hey, despite whatever your allegiances are.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You have to.
Phil Spencer
you have to-
is
He's
the
great.
shit, yeah,
he is.
definitely.
He is.
Most definitely.
You know what?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're gamers. We're a big family, regardless what you play. We are a big community. They need to put crossplay.
They need to.
They need to
do
put
it.
a
They just
crossplay,
turn
yeah.
it on already.
Yeah.
So keeping it on Fortnite. Question for you guys:
Yes.
Is Fortnite Battle Royale? Because that's
It's
a new
not.
thing. That's
Yeah, I
that's a
mentioned
new
it last
standalone
week.
thing.
That's the thing. That's the thing is coming.
That's
Yes.
what's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Fortnite Battle Royale.
It's a mode in the
Okay.
game.
I tell you what happened. They just after the other lawbreakers the failed attempt.
I'm so
they're looking
sad
at this.
about that.
They're
So
looking at
sad
this
about that.
property, be like, oh shit, shit. I'm sorry. This is not epic. One of them is
I was
epic.
gonna
One of them
say,
is Cliffy B. Okay, well maybe Cliffy B. Cliff Basinski. So what happened to his former employee? Epic, and they said, "Oh man, Lawbreaker is they those guys released something, and it went nowhere." And I used to hang out with those guys, so I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna implement what everybody's playing right now. What is everybody playing right now? Oh, Pokemon Go. Oh no, that's not true. Everybody's playing what? Oh, Battle Royale. Oh, what's that name? What's the name? PUBG. Okay, let's copy that. Let's go ahead and copy that exactly.
So the question, I guess, is is this thing that they're bringing? All right. So the story is that earlier this week, Epic Games announced a PUBG inspired battle royale for Fortnite, and they literally mentioned PUBG. It wasn't Battle Royale inspired. No, it's, hey, we like PUBG. And frankly, you know, they threw it out there. We like PUBG. We enjoy it a lot. And they wanted to implement it, right? Into this game that they have been developing for God knows how long.
Nobody was happy. Someone wasn't happy with that.
This game has been developed for a long time. And if they... Well, they are doing it, all right? And this is going to be released for free on consoles and PC next week as a standalone game. This is not sitting well with the guys at Blue Hole.
I would say
Really?
Oh.
It's a standalone? I thought it was a mode. Because
It's
I
a
read it last
standalone.
week. It was a
the
mode.
guys.
It was going to be a mode, but it got updated to a standalone.
I don't know, because Fortnite, like, I played it. It would have been better as just a mode instead of a standalone.
Perhaps, but apparently they are seeing a lot of they're seeing a spike in interest in this. Of
To
course.
put it very mildly.
I mean-
they have what 11 million players right now.
Yeah. Not only that, don't forget, Grand Theft Auto did a adversary mode
Yes.
that is inspired.
Oh,
by it.
yeah,
It's also
yeah.
spotty. This one here seems to be a little bit more
in your face,
in your
yeah.
face about it, especially since Grand Theft Auto never ever mentioned PUBG at all. No, you know, or they didn't even
They
say
said
Battle
Battle
Royale.
Royale.
Yeah, did they say Battle Royale? Maybe they did say Battle Royale. So of course it's not sitting good with these guys who happen to use, by the way, Epic's Unreal Engine to power their
The
Battlegrounds,
game, yeah.
So a press release, I'll read. I guess a short little thing here. A press release issued by Bluehole this morning suggests that they are contemplating further action. And quote. We've had an ongoing relationship with Epic Games throughout PUBG's development, as they are the creators of the Unreal Engine.
But this is the last straw. We're switching now to Crytek.
Oh man! After listening to the growing feedback from our community and reviewing
Or
the gameplay
Frostbite.
for ourselves, or Frostbite, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known for. We have also noticed that Epic Games references PUBG in the promotion for Fortnite to their community and the communication with the press.
That's where they screwed up.
Yeah,
That's
where it messed
they
up.
could have
Yeah.
exactly. They could have been like, hey, you can't. It's a third.
Battle
This is
Royale.
a third
Just
person
let
shoot.
it-
This is Mag. You remember Mag on
I do
PS3?
remember Mag,
This
yes.
is like Mag, but with a lot less players.
Wait. But Fortnite, they could have been just like, this is like Minecraft, building and all that, but you also kill each other.
Yeah. Quote, this was never discussed with us, and we do not feel it's right. So they never
Yeah,
got
they messed
spoken to
up.
about it.
That's bad.
And Epic, let's be real here. I guess the big thing is Epic's been working on this here for the Fortnite for apparently 6 years. And so a lot of the assets and infrastructure are already in place. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where right now PUBG is essentially building that. That's the
Building,
whole
yeah,
point of
yeah.
that. So that spinoff that we have here will beat Battlegrounds to consoles.
I guess so. Yeah.
You know,
The question is, will the player base follow?
will follow. Yeah, that's the whole.
I mean,
deal.
it'll have it.
Don't forget, though, is that Fortnite is still in early access. It won't come out as a full game until next
True.
year.
But
so they can
this
do whatever
is gonna
they
be-
want to the degree.
This is going to
a
still
degree.
be a standalone game, regardless of anything. It does not part of the. Now they literally pulled it out and said, "Here you go," and it's free to play.
I just
Well, if it's out now, then that means
It's not out yet. It's now next week. Yeah,
And you won't really have to buy a early access pass like you do with regular Fortnite.
exactly.
So that'll probably be the reason.
I just want to clarify before somebody rips me to shreds about
go
this.
ahead.
I messed up. Cliff Blasinski works for Bosky. He's the one that made Lawbreakers.
Yes.
Epic is under
They made
Mark
Paragon.
something.
There you go.
I forgot his name, or whoever is the one that's running the show over there.
worries.
So yeah, Fortnite is not
No.
Cliffy B's
No,
thing.
No.
not even close.
Lawbreakers is though.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's all
yeah,
his.
Yes,
That
exactly.
is weird though, because
So the question here: who's right? Who's wrong?
I think the moment I think
PUBG right
Pub-
now is a bit
well,
because
hold on, hear me out.
all right,
I believe
I'll talk after.
that. Oh no! Now you killed me. So now you gotta talk.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so
After you.
so I thank you. As like what I was trying to say is the who's the Fortnite Epic
Epic.
Epic did wrong in referencing so directly the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I mean, throughout gaming, we've always seen that, hey, Alex Kidd is like Mario, or or Sonic is just a faster Mario, or stuff like that. So copying the essence of a
genre,
game,
yeah.
the genre, let's say, hey, you build a genre over here. You could always say, you can't come in and complain, oh, these people are doing the exact thing. It's like Dota. When
can't,
Dota
yeah.
came out,
You can't claim
and
a
then
genre, yeah.
Blizzard came out with Heroes of the Storm, Valve can go back against Blizzard and say, hey, you stole our idea. Because guess what? That's a genre now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah.
Same thing with music, same thing with movies, TVs, anything like that. So the problem is when you directly reference, we're making a game just like PUBG.
Yeah.
I mean, almost. I know they didn't say that
Yeah.
exactly, but
They
you might as well have.
yeah.
Might as well have.
Yeah.
That's when you screwed up, because now they have something that they can defend, probably in court, even if it gets to that point. And I think that's
It's a sticky situation there.
You know, it's funny. He actually took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I was going
I
to
said
say.
it first. Oh damn it! See, I told you
That's
should have
alright.
talked
It
first.
doesn't matter who says it. The
But
point is,
honestly, you said
the
it better
answer.
than I would have.
Yes.
No.
Just saying.
No. I give credit. I read her mind and I put it in my messed up
There
words.
you go.
Set of mind trick.
There you go.
Right. Nice. Well, that's the last piece. But before I sign out on the last piece, I do think that particular news item will be back.
Oh yeah, I think it'll.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
So
that's gonna
sad,
happen.
though,
Yeah.
about Lawbreakers.
It is.
I know, for Lawbreakers, that game was all right.
But it was a multiplayer-based PvP. Well,
Never played it.
yeah.
it was
Never
good,
played it,
though.
never
I
got
played the
interested.
beta.
You know, I heard that PUBG wants to make a single player campaign out of this thing. I don't know how that will work.
Out of Destiny?
Out of,
No, PUBG.
I heard.
know.
Now you have Destiny in the head.
No,
No,
you
but
said
you
out of
said
Destiny.
Destiny.
Oh, no, out of this thing.
Oh, this
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Oh,
Ah. So
fair
I
enough.
think the accent called us off.
exactly.
Maybe we are thinking of Destiny.
There you go.
It's like the Rorschach test. It's whatever you see.
Whatever you see. Yeah.
All right, what's your last piece, Shadow?
Oh, you don't got anything else?
No, I got it.
All right. So, one thing that I saw and just were practically happy, all go lucky,
Cause I'm happy.
is that Konami is bringing back Zone of the Enders.
Zone of the Enders.
Oh, God.
No, not a fan?
If none of you know, it was a mech action game
Yes.
in
Kojima-san.
early 2000s, and it was
one?
probably one of my favorite games.
Is it?
at its time.
Okay, nice.
So they're bringing it to PlayStation 4, but on VR.
No, I thought it was going to have VR support.
Yeah. well,
Okay, yeah. So they still should bring back regular, yeah.
I'm so happy for
Yeah.
that, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be titled Anubis, Zone of the Enders, Mars. Weird.
Was that a good
title,
game, though?
honestly.
All right.
I remember playing it, and I'm trying to think how I played it. I don't know if it was one of those, remember those old demo discs?
Yes, it was a demo disc.
I think it was a demo disc.
I think it was a demo disc.
And I was like, this is cool.
I want to say it's the demo disc for one of the Metal Gears, maybe?
No. I think I played it on one of the demo discs for a magazine, like official PlayStation
gotcha,
magazine, something like that.
yeah.
See,
Yeah, you're
what-
right, you're right.
What I did is that I played it, rented it at Blockbuster. when I
Blockbuster,
was
wow.
still- Yep.
Wow.
And it's such a good game.
Is
Well,
it? Well, I mean, now that
mind
we
you,
have
I
a
was
chance,
younger, so it was such a good game for me.
here's my only issue with it. This was a PS1 title.
Yeah.
Are we getting an up-res version here? Are we getting just a remake, or what are we getting?
No,
Where I'm
it's gotta
looking,
be a-
it's a remaster that will boost enhanced graphics and 4K
Gotta be a remake.
resolution.
Gotta be a remake.
Yeah,
It
it's
says
a remaster.
Yeah, remaster.
A remaster?
And it
That's-
will be
I-
coming
yeah.
out next year, so we'll see how that goes.
Yes. Title, by the way, has
All I'm
changed.
saying though is that
Yeah.
I cannot wait because it's a Sony Loners game.
No, definitely. It's Anubis Zone of the Enders Mars. That's the name of the title.
All right, so
Renamed
Let's
title.
be, does anybody
That's what I'm saying. That
was
title,
this
though.
a good game, or was this, Hey, it's made by this good developer.
Well,
Remember,
I never played it.
I was
I
a
mean, I only
kid
played
when I
that just
played it.
yeah. I played that demo, and I
Ah.
enjoyed it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was, but I enjoyed it. From that, I'll never forget it.
Uh-huh.
That said, I think the popularity behind it had to do with, if I'm not mistaken, that Metal Gear had a demo.
Uh-huh.
Like if you bought the game, you were
I
able
think
to
this
play
was
the
around
demo.
where Metal Gear Solid came out.
That's what I'm saying.
The
That you were able to
That's what I'm
play.
thinking.
You were able
Yeah.
to play Metal Gear Solid demo because of if you had bought the game. So I think that kind of boot may have. I'm thinking. I'm trying to remember if that was the
Alright.
game that it was, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I think
It
that
sounds
had
to
a
me
boost on
because
it.
I also remember seeing it as a demo, never as an actual game. I mean, obviously it came out, but I'm saying like I remember maybe playing it as a demo and not being so excited about it. Maybe. But maybe because I was
each their own.
already so
It's a long
enamored
time.
with
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
I remember being
To
in
each
a
their own.
in
That's
a
all I
mech
gotta say.
suit that was flying. I think it had wings and it shot like
Yes.
missiles, and it played very well. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but I never watched about the game. So, but
Mecha.
Well, now
Mecha.
you have the chance.
There's a
Now there's a
difference.
chance, yeah.
Now you have the chance
Mecha.
to.
Excuse
Mecha,
me.
yes.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the new segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone, over at the Mouthful podcast. This is the one, the only Chaos Reaper. I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. I have a bit of a cold and it's extremely annoying. So, I am here to tell it like I see it. We're talking about the hot topic of the week, the best and worst controllers. Now, for worst, I'm going to nominate the Nintendo 64 controller, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people will. I knew how to use it. I knew how to properly use it. Most games you had to hold it through the middle and the right side because a lot of games use that trigger, the Z button. But it's still a terrible design. It was uncomfortable. The joystick didn't have any type of like rubber on it. So in Mario Party or any game that you had to turn the what is it called? The joystick, my God, it was the worst. Me and my sister, we had socks nearby to wear them as gloves whenever those kind of games came up. So we won't lose the skin off our hands. The Dreamcast controller wasn't much better. I mean, that thing was huge. I didn't like it that much, but still all right. Not the worst. Definitely not good though. I was never a fan of the Xbox controllers either. The 360 was pretty nice, and I know a lot of people say it's the best, and now they're gonna use it for like submarines and shit. But the original was this just big, humongous black beast, and I really didn't like it. As for the best, I absolutely love my DualShock 4. I'm very comfortable with it, but I've always liked the DualShock, and I know a lot of people didn't like the PS3 controller for whatever reason. I was comfortable with it. It wasn't the best, but I did like it. Yeah, that's it. Those are my 2 cents for this hot topic. Thank you guys for having me again. Today, Friday the 22nd, is my level up day. I have level up. I am officially level 30. Yes. So I get to spend a couple more stat points. Allocate them more according to the build that I've chosen. So thank you very much to all of you that wish me a happy birthday on Facebook. Have a good weekend, guys. Take care. This is Chaos Trooper signing out. GG. Perfect.
All right, guys. So we're going to go right into our hot topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
Wow. I think
That high note
like
hit
ruined
my
the
ears.
mics.
Ow. Ow, I think you need to work on that.
I think I need to work on this beer that I'm having over here.
If you haven't heard or if you haven't checked the group, the hot topic this week is all about the best and the worst controllers.
I didn't know that we were going to be talking about the Nintendo 64 controller. Oh,
yes.
10
also-
seconds into it. 10
but-
seconds. Count it.
But we're also talking about the worst controllers. So
I got a question.
The Nintendo 64 one.
Got a question. What brought this topic up?
this has been a topic forever.
Is it because you want to
every
hear
two
him?
breaks that we have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it because you want to
have.
hear Dreamy Twister here complain about the Nintendo 64?
No, it's not that I would complain about it, but it's more about
Joking.
It's more about. Okay.
All right, let's put
First
it in
off-
perspective. This is the interface between you and the game. It's the most, one of the most, if not the most important portion
Absolutely.
of the console. So you got to make sure you get this
It is.
right.
Because we've
it
had
is
some
so important.
uncomfortable controllers before.
Yeah.
It is
you know?
so important, and easily no matter what you do, no matter what new thing gets released, we're always going to have. We're always going to have the controller to sit in front of a TV or computer screen, whatever it is, to play the game. You can introduce motion controls, fine, yeah, we'll include those. You can introduce VR, sure, why not? We'll throw that in there as
Bluetooth.
well. Controllers are never going to go away because that is still, to me personally, the primary way to play a game.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Nothing else has gotten close to surpassing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or meeting it, no less surpassing it. So
So let's
Like I
start with this.
said.
Let's start with
Yes.
this. So
Hit me.
what are your thoughts about keyboard and mouse?
they suck.
Yes, we'll start with that. That's his worst. Mind you.
It's the easiest thing. Easiest thing.
You want to bait me into the Nintendo 64 talk? I want to bait you.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Into the
I can
I
answer
know, I
it.
mean, it's because
keyboard and mouse.
I can answer it real
you
quick.
already know that Nintendo
It's shit.
64 with you has just been a running gag joke for a while now. That's
The
why.
keyboard and mouse is shit. I'm just gonna throw it.
Says no one ever.
You hear that? He doesn't have a feel for it.
So
You
no.
gotta feel it.
Oh, I can feel it all I want.
Yeah.
I have groped it as much as possible. Okay. It's
I'm
still
becoming uncomfortable.
absolutely. It still absolutely sucks.
Why? Why
Because
would you
a-
say that?
Honestly,
Uh-huh. What's
It
the
has
problem with
Yeah, I
keyboard
want
mouse?
to know why.
You don't like the precision of it?
no.
You don't like the
hold on.
perfect precision that
The
you will have with it?
the
Hold on,
precision
let
is
him-
great.
let him talk.
Yeah.
The precision is great. It's inhumanly great.
Inhuman and
It's
Why?
inhuman because
It's
there's
that
just no
whole
way.
range
You
of
know what I mean?
motion.
It's like the precision you
If
have.
there's
on
no
it,
way, how come more gamers play on keyboard and mouse than
Oh.
on any console?
I don't think they have a choice because if you're gonna
They do. You can plug.
if you're playing on PC, if you're playing on PC, somebody's playing on a keyboard and mouse. Why would you want to do a controller when you're gonna get your ass handed to you?
And then exactly. So
There's no choice.
why do you play on keyboard and mouse?
Oh, to cheat?
To be better, not to cheat.
Yeah, to
you
have-
just said
to
you
have
just
a
said it.
better-
You're better. You're better. You're more precise with keyboard and mouse. Listen, I get it, Linda. I get your argument for. There are some games that I will always play with with a controller, no matter what,
There's
even if the
no
choice is given to me.
Convincing me.
But I'm not.
I will
I'm
play-
not trying to convince you.
obviously-
But you said there's shit, and that
It
is
shit.
that
it's
is
just-
wrong.
It is way too cumbersome to just play a game. You know what I mean? Really, it's
To
just like
whom?
to
I want
anybody.
people to comment on this.
Don't get me wrong. I get it. People who have been doing it for years, or maybe even started off with it, of course, it's second nature. But when you really, really look at it, just look at it for a second. This is not the way we can play a game. It's like this is the way to send email.
It totally
this is the way
is.
to freaking to do any other fucking
It totally. How
office
would you?
work.
How would you play? Tell me, how would you play StarCraft with a controller? I'm not saying you can't. An RTS, for example.
I don't know. I've never played an RTS.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
there are RTS. You could do it. You could argue that even Halo Wars did it decently enough with a controller, but it's not as good. There are games
See,
that are
the difference-
inherently
so
to
here's-
be
here's-
played with
here's-
keyboard and mouse.
Here's the difference with that.
Or,
An RTS is
period.
what? What is it? What is an
Real-time
RTS?
strategy.
Real-time strategy. Yeah.
What is it that you're doing in the game?
You are
Commanding troops.
managing. Yeah, you're commanding troops. You're selecting.
You're
you know,
not the
troops.
troop. You're just managing the troops. So you're managing something. Yes. Well, guess what? A computer with a keyboard and mouse can manage many, many things.
Yeah.
Manage any business you wanted to manage.
Well, does that make it less of a game?
No,
Okay,
I'm not saying. I'm not saying
let
that
me-
at all.
Let me interrupt
Yeah.
here.
I'm not
It's still
saying
a
that
game.
because of the type of game that it is. It doesn't even require. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. There's.
Wait, hold on. Are you gonna say that a game that literally has esports on it? We can talk about StarCraft. We can talk about Dota also. You're gonna say that it doesn't require skill?
I didn't say skill.
Why was you gonna say they don't require?
It doesn't require a controller, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't
Huh.
require. It's not the type of game where you have to have a feel for where things are at. You're literally just you're managing troops that are acting upon
You gotta be
whatever
super
you're
twitchy
doing.
on those though. Super twitchy. That's why
Hence
you need the precision.
Exactly. Hence the mouse and
Yeah.
keyboard. But it's not your line of sight. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not a first-person
Yeah,
shooter.
thank you.
Or
So
a third-person
that's
shooter.
what I'm saying.
But games are not just that, though.
I know they're not.
Exactly.
I
Right?
know they're not. But something like Dota or anything like that, I can see. First off, I've never
So,
been interested in those type of games to begin with.
Can I interject for like a second?
Hold on 1 second. I've never been interested. Never been interested in those type of games.
Because I was gonna put a better example than what he did.
Okay, maybe what's the better
Like,
example?
wow.
Like
Yeah, like wow,
Literally,
exactly.
wow.
Like literally, wow.
I was literally gonna say
you
that
never
'cause,
played that on the console,
because you wouldn't be able
and that's
to.
a third person.
The reason why I was gonna say not MOBAs, MMOs. You wouldn't be able to play that on. I mean, I know they do it with Elder Scrolls and
Fantasy.
yes, they have
Final
some. They have
Fantasy.
some
Final Fantasy
MMOs, yeah.
14.
But the thing is,
and
though,
11.
the issue that you would have to like, it would be better to play with keyboard and mouse is one, your abilities, your items, all in one bar at the bottom, and to pick up your map, your quests, and all that. It would be better.
I get
on
the
keyboard.
need. I get the how do I say it? I get the
Reasoning?
reason behind it. Okay, how you would obviously because you need to access so much, you need more options than the 12 buttons that you may have on a controller. I get that. For me personally, though, I don't play those games. I've never been interested in those games.
Understandable.
In some ways, they're not really games to me. I'm sure there are games.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
is the
there are
most gamist thing that I ever heard you say.
Gamist.
You're a gamist, sir.
Gamist.
Just because you can't play them with a controller, they're not really games.
Did he? Did
You
he
guys
just create
heard it.
another word?
You guys
he
heard
just
him.
created another word.
Actually, I like that word. That's actually very good.
That's
So,
the most gamist thing.
Thank
another
you for creating
another
something
reason,
else
though,
people to get upset about now.
another good example that I can think of is that survivor games like DayZ, H1Z1, even Battle Royale like PUBG and all that. You can some of the games that are said you can play with a controller, but it's a little
sure you can.
difficult. Considering once again
I don't-
all
I
the
don't- I don't think-
options, all the stuff you have.
PUBG
Keyboard.
is a third-person shooter.
Yes,
That
just
could be-
like,
that could
just
be-
like DayZ and H1Z1.
Overwatch is a first-person shooter that
it's a
got transformed
first-person
very
shooter,
well
yeah.
into console. See, but the thing of it is do you want to play those first-person shooters? Yeah, they play great on console. Why? Because the game itself allows you to cheat. You say that on PC you cheat. The game itself on consoles allows you to cheat because it has auto aim, which you will never find a
assist.
respectable first-person shooter on PC that has auto aim because it doesn't need it because you have the precision. On console, you don't have the precision,
know
and
what,
therefore you do need to have a little bit of
Speaking
auto.
that, if you
auto
actually
play.
go into the options in Overwatch, they won't even show aim assist in the options because there is no aim assist.
Of course not.
You can up your mouse sensitivity for your aiming, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't find. Yeah, you wouldn't find. You wouldn't
honestly,
find aim
like,
assist on PC games because
honestly,
that's cheating.
I can actually play Widowmaker, Hanzo, and Ana a lot better on PC than console, and that's saying something.
Yeah, again, it comes down. I played the beta for Destiny,
Okay, let's-
and Destiny was
That
like
said-
ridiculously easy.
Okay,
That
let's
said-
go down to the
actual
to the gist of
controllers.
this. Is that
Hey, the keyboard and mouse is still a controller. It's still a method of
It's not a
interfacing with a
controller.
game.
It is a method of controlling a game.
What do you call that? What
Not
do
a
you call?
controller.
It's not a controller. You just control the game. What do you call that?
Not
like
a
I was
controller.
saying, like I was saying, the difference
It's
is
like saying a bus is not a car. Well, yeah, it's not a car, but it still still have four wheels and it still take you somewhere.
That's a poor example.
can you tape this man's
You know what you still get. To
Can you tape this
You know that
man's
it's a little bit
mouth shut,
ridiculous
please?
to say it's not a controller. Because, yeah, it's not a gamepad.
Thank you.
But that was not the game. That is not the topic of the
True,
week.
true.
It doesn't say best gamepads. It says based on word controllers. And guess
So-
what? The Sega Activator is included there. Yes,
So
sir.
You would say that the keyboard and mouse would be the best controller.
Hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Well, that's his opinion. So
But if we're
I'm
we're
gonna
just limited to
kick you
game to
out of your
controllers,
chair.
if we're limited
in
to
a
consoles.
second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't say
I'm
consoles.
sorry.
I didn't
Go
say
ahead.
consoles. It's just controllers. Yeah.
Like control in general,
So,
then yeah, keyboard and mouse. Come
Like
on.
I said, down to the bbottom line here, the reason why a lot of people prefer it is that
No, don't go to the bottom line because otherwise we
Shut
don't
up.
have anything else
Shut
to
up.
talk
Shut
about.
and why you keep arguing is that one PC, it's a mouse. You have full range of motion of your whole arm. So that gives you more precision aiming, precision whatever.
Oh, I understand how it
And
works.
I know that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You guys are arguing and completely separated here. And with controllers, you only have a half range of motion with your thumbs. So
So you're limited is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
You're
But you guys
limited with the thing you want to control. You're more limited with a gamepad. Is that what I'm hearing? Because then this argument is done.
and then I don't know why you've been talking for about 5 minutes now. It should have been done.
Listen.
Minute.
Honestly, this is what the topic of the week is supposed to be. It's supposed to be of us bringing us our ideas and all that.
Exactly.
And let's be real. I will fucking never play a fighting game on a keyboard and mouse. Why?
Definitely not.
Because it's not made for that.
What you need
I will
is a gamepad.
never play a racing game on a keyboard and mouse. Even though it is allowed and the options are there, it is stupid to
Horrendous.
try to do that.
Horrendous.
So every game is gonna have its method of controlling, which is gonna
That
work
works for
better,
it.
one for another. So
Hence Dota and it's
yeah, exactly.
Any
exactly.
boba is what you're
Exactly.
saying.
So, which means that Dota and StarCraft and all that, they need what? A controller, like a keyboard and mouse.
Don't forget Sims too, because you forgot the one big thing: command controls.
Command controls?
Yeah,
Command controls?
yeah.
I didn't play a lot of Sims, so I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
not just Sims. Even Fallout had command controls on PC.
But what do you mean by command controls?
Cheats, so to speak. Quote unquote.
Oh, that they open it, the thing that yeah.
Quote unquote.
yeah.
Console never had command controls.
Yeah, no.
they never will.
They never will.
So,
no, I'm good without them. No, I don't
On to
want
the
cheats.
next controller, or else we're going to be talking about keyboard and mouse versus whatever, and then we'll completely
Well,
disrupt the
if
whole
we-
hot
if we
topic
were
of the week,
to-
which
if
we
we
should not
were
be doing that.
to eliminate or put aside, should we say, should we put aside the keyboard and mouse? What would be the best handheld controller?
See, I was almost. You want me to answer? Or you want me to shut up?
No.
Okay.
I'm asking anybody. yeah.
I was gonna. See, here's the thing. The Xbox 360 controller is.
360.
It would have taken this if it wasn't for the fact that they shit the bed with the
D-pad.
little gamepad, the D-pad. If it wasn't for the, and granted, they fixed it. There is a 360 with a cross, D-pad, and that's great and all. But because they released one that was so shoddy and crappy before, I can't forgive them on that.
Honestly, like
So-
if you're talking about favorite
No,
controls, right? Or just
no, not favorite. What would you consider to be the best handheld controller? I guess in this case, so I can be a little more specific. I think honestly, I've tried.
I take some thought right now.
Okay, I tried. I have played the Xbox One controller, and I played the PlayStation 4 controller. That's the most recent controller, and one could just by going with technology and advancing with technology, one could say that the most recent controllers should be the top of the line controllers. I think still, regardless, even though I don't use it, the Xbox One controllers are pretty tight. I have not tried it, but I would love to. The Elite controller
Oh yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Xbox Elite controller. Yeah.
I think that's probably the top of the line controller, handheld controller. Period.
I will
I don't
agree
know about
with-
his D-pad because I haven't even seen it.
I will agree with that because I do have the D-pad on the Xbox One controller is very
do
good.
my side after
It it is not. You tried it. You tried it, Shadow.
I, mean, I have one, but I'll go
Yeah, you
after
have
you.
one.
I'll go after you.
Yeah. So I haven't tried the Elite, but I think the Elite it's probably the Valhalla of them, but I'm not gonna bring it up because it's a ridiculous price.
Well, it's not about pricing. It's
it's not about price?
no, it's not about. It's about comfort. It's about grip. It's about feel. It's about.
Well, I mean, in
input.
general, I think that controller encompasses. I tell you what it is. It has. I was never a fan of the DualShock 3. Because I found those sticks
yeah, I
were
remember that.
too close together to one, and the position of the thumbs were uncomfortable.
The
And
DualShock
by that
3
time,
controller was just bad.
Horrendous.
it was and then it didn't have right triggers. It had more they were too analogy to be triggers. Now that said,
It worked for certain games though,
Uh-huh.
because you can press slightly and something will happen.
Yeah.
a little bit more to have something else. So
Yeah.
obviously they had a different design in mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you have first-person shooters reigning in the
Reigning
market,
at that point,
it's
yeah.
like you need to be triggers.
Yeah, the DualShock 4 improved massively. Like I love that controller. I love playing Destiny on that controller or playing any game on that controller. I still wish, however, that the position of the hands were a little bit more natural, because when I put my hands, like if I automatically put my hands for the movement, if I want to move up and down, remember the left thumb moves. It tends to, in most games, tends to move your side, right, up and down. Your view, and then the right thumb tends to move your walking, right?
It's so
Are
funny 'cause I don't
you?
remember.
Are you?
No, think
like,
I know
think
what
about
you mean,
Uncharted,
but-
for example.
Yeah.
So
on most
kinda like a bit
games.
Like, are you playing lefty, by the way? Because that's how lefty
Yeah, I was
controls
going to say
work.
that sounds like it's in.
Did I inverted it?
I think
Yes.
so.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, the left stick.
Is movement while right is camera.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. So the left. So but the point I'm trying to make is that it feels natural to have my left hand thumb a little bit higher than my right hand. It's like a normal position. I mean, ideally, I will have both of them on the upper position, but you have to have buttons. So the buttons are on the upper side of the right side of the controller. I'm hoping that I'm not making this too confusing. On the upper right of the right side controller, it's the button array, and then a little bit lower is
So what you're
the
stating
thumb
is,
stick.
in short, that the not aligned version of the sticks on the Xbox, which
Yeah.
has been doing that, I assume, since the first one, right? I never
Yeah.
had the.
Yeah, since the Duke.
Yeah, since
Since the Duke.
Yep.
By the way, pin on that Duke.
Yes.
'cause we're gonna come back.
We're gonna come back to that one. Oh yes.
that ugly ass looking shit. Okay.
It made
I
it
am
ugly.
not
but
gonna
it
be
was
the one to
great.
deny that controller was
It was
really terrible.
ugly.
So while I agree that or rather I should say, while I understand while I guess the sticks being more being on the, not aligned,
Not aligned, yeah.
feeling better. I've never had that issue, but then again, I'm not an Xbox guy, and I have been on the PlayStation controller, DualShock 1, 2, 3, 4, which really are just reiterations of the same thing, just growing on them.
So you never played the boomerang controller on PS3?
Nobody did.
Remember that thing?
I do remember
the
that
banana?
thing.
Oh my god,
Oh
that thing
my
was
goodness.
horrible. I mean, the prototype that never came out.
Correct,
Obviously.
yeah.
Thank goodness, thank God.
So I never had a problem with the two sticks being next to each other like that,
Yeah.
because they weren't out here anyway. They weren't out towards the edge of the controller. They were
No.
literally towards the middle of the controller. So they were center.
Yeah,
at that
on the
point. So
DualShock 3, it was a little too centered, though.
The DualShock 3 was just a shit
yeah,
controller. It really was. It was bad. It was a bad.
This was
controller. They
also
took out the rumble.
Yes.
Okay, because
they did.
6-axis was the future.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's
So
not
they
forget.
took out. They shit the bed on that
Also,
freaking.
don't forget that the motion controls was absolutely horrendous.
Oh wait,
Layer says
when they
hello.
had it because they didn't used to have it at first. Motion
Don't-
control was so last gen. They said.
No, like,
Yeah. that's
Oh
true.
my
Yeah,
god,
that's
motion
very
control.
true.
There was.
That's-
And all because they didn't want to pay a license to the people that pretty
Correct,
much
yeah.
invented the Rumble.
so I'm going with Xbox One.
Xbox
I
One
said.
controller.
I have both,
Okay.
and I got baby hands. So
You do have, yeah.
Yeah.
Small hands.
so-
Yes.
I mean, I do like the PS4 controller, all because it's smaller for me specifically. I mean, it feels nice, yeah, but again, I have an Xbox controller too. What I love the most about Xbox controllers is one, those triggers are nice. The nice curved triggers.
very nice. Yeah.
One, I wish Sony would do this. Them thumb grips are amazing.
Oh, the
The Xbox.
The
one,
gripped,
yeah.
yes, the gripped thumb grips. Because PS4 has grip thumb grips too, but it kind of looks a bit like a dog's nose, pattern. But they wear and tear very easily. But
Yes.
the Xbox One, it feels so nice.
I'm already wearing my PS4 Pro controller,
Yeah, like I
which is
wore,
ridiculous. There's
I don't
no
know-
excuse for
The
it for
worst
that to be
part-
happening.
Like, here's a good example. When I had my first controller is so worn down. Like I have grips on them now. They're little paw grips, which are adorable. But if I take
Just
them off,
comparing everything to a dog.
how else? And plus, someone else got them for me. So if I took them off, you can see the wear and tear from Destiny itself
Yeah.
that it has on it, and it's ridiculous. But those Xbox One
I
controllers,
guess I don't understand.
You guys, you're probably like, how are you guys wasting your
Why
controller?
are you wearing these things now?
How do you grip your controller?
You
Do you tap it
look-
with the?
I have two control. First of all, I have two controllers, right?
You play a fucking lot.
and I play a lot.
Yeah.
And you see my controllers, and these are the original
Yeah.
controllers, and they are not worn down.
Okay,
So I'm
so-
going. What do you guys
So
do?
do you tap with the tip of your finger the
No,
controller,
no,
or
it
do you
sits like
rest your
here.
thumb?
It sits right here. It
Well,
sits-
that's the podcast can't see that.
Sorry,
So
the
let
podcast.
me-
I'm resting my thumb on it. I'm not using
Yeah.
my nail. I'm not using the tip
I don't-
of my nail.
I
I'm
think you're
resting
using
my
the
thumb
tip.
on it. No, I'm not.
You tip it toeing on your controller.
I'm just resting my finger on it, and none of them are
So,
worn down.
let
None.
me-
You're caressing the
clarify.
controller. You're not really like. "Ugh."
I am a gentle player.
Yes.
Let me clarify. Is that growing up, I was taught to take care of your things. So
Yeah.
my controllers are taken care of, but mind you, I played hours upon hours of Destiny, and
Yeah.
with Destiny,
It
you
doesn't
got
matter.
to sprint. You have to hold down and then keep
And
moving
you,
up.
yeah.
300 hours or more of
Witcher.
A Witcher. And all the other games that I played
Yeah.
and completed. So
Yeah.
I'm playing these and getting through them, and my controllers are still the nubs or whatever what the fuck are they called?
Like, yeah,
The grips.
The grips.
The
Yeah,
grips.
they are not worn down. So I don't know. I
Right.
understand
I
that
think-
there's an issue, and I hate fix it. Sony
And
fix it, but
also
I don't have
forget
that issue.
So to be like, you're grabbing the controller wrong, like Apple did with the iPhone. You guys are just grabbing your phone wrong. That'll be-
Also, another thing too is that don't forget that perspiration, sweat and heat in your hands can also diminish
Okay,
the
so you guys
rubber a lot
should,
better.
It's just you'll be more
Wear gloves or
hygienic.
something.
I'm sorry, it's hereditary. It's not my
I'm
fault.
sorry, you don't sweat, you glitter.
Oh, I'm sure I sweat. I'm sure I do.
All right, so consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox One controller then.
Control is probably
Yeah.
best. Yes.
Okay.
Like
all right.
even
Handheld
in my,
controller,
like
yeah.
I love PS4, but Xbox all the way with their controller.
Yeah.
So the worst. Let's
so the
get
worst.
to it. Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's let that.
Other than the keyboard and mouse, what is the worst? What is the worst handheld?
It begins and ends
Does it-
with the monstrosity
You just
that is the
made it.
Nintendo 64 controller. Because you guys like to attribute the fact that, but they brought us analog controls.
Okay, I
Without
don't
the
say
ex-
that. That's him who
Without
said that.
the
Yeah, it is true.
yeah, I sounded like him also, right? Yeah. Without it, we wouldn't have analog controls. But in reality, if you really look at it, that was not the first analog controller on console. And
Wouldn't PlayStation be like the very first one?
no, because this was before. No, I remember. First PlayStation didn't have analog controller. It was just it was
Duh.
Just regular, yeah.
My
the
bad.
Atari 72 or 7800. I think
Had that little
had,
the
yeah.
stick?
I mean, granted, that
Was
thing
that
was fucking
analog?
horrible.
I was gonna say, was
it
that
was
analog?
analog? Yes, it was analog,
Really?
and it was really bad. It was a really bad analog, but it was analog. So that was the first. I mean. The very first one in reality was like some German console that we never heard of over here in the States because it never came out here. But if we're talking about mainstream, the 7800 was the actual
Was the first, was it?
yes.
Nobody had the 70. You realize this, right?
Nobody had it.
Nobody had it.
Everybody likes to say, "Hey,
So-
no, it was a Nintendo." See, I did some
2600
research.
The 50.
He did his research.
5200.
5200.
Yeah.
Those were 5200 less than the 26. 26 was obviously the one out.
Yeah, that's the one that took it all. About,
78. Very few people had.
No,
that shit,
almost no. Yeah, no. And
probably
the
looked
controller
at-
was terrible. Probably the reason why.
Exactly. I can't control this shit.
That's it. How do you invent a control with 3 prongs? And okay, I get it. People are gonna say, "Well, you just need to learn how to hold it." Yeah, people, I get it. There is a way of holding it, but just because there is a way of holding that controller, it doesn't mean that it feels
doesn't
right.
excuse that
When
it's
you have
terrible.
when the way you hold the controller is. I can't show this on the podcast, but
obviously, yeah.
you grab it in the middle, and then you have your other hand very close together. And by the way, your middle, you're supposed to
do
grab
you
it
want
with
me
your
to-
right, with your left, right, with your left hand,
Do you want me
because
to
that's the
put
one
that
that
picture
controls.
that I showed
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it? I'll do it right
it
now.
shows.
I'll do it right now.
I know the way it's meant to be held. I'm
For
saying
everyone else.
that looks uncomfortable as shit.
It was, for me, it was never uncomfortable. First of all, it's not the worst controller.
No.
I won't say it's the best, but or even great, but it wasn't bad. I never had any issues with it. The only issue that I have now with it is that because GoldenEye defaulted to inverted,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
and I played hours of freaking GoldenEye.
Yes.
I am now an invert.
Now you're an invert. Yes. Unfortunately.
Thank you, GoldenEye. Thank you,
Unfortunately,
Nintendo.
now you can't. The first thing you go with, what you do when you start a game is go to the menu
and
and
change-
invert that shit.
And I invert every time. And
Oh,
the funny
that's
thing
so
is,
abnormal.
the funny thing is that I think it was default to that, and I don't think there was an option not
to.
have
No.
the regular.
Yeah.
So and there was no choice, So for whatever reason, whoever was designing the controller said, or designing the games, go, oh, this is obviously the way it should go.
Yeah.
So
They probably thought, hey, the thumb is it's like if you had that thumbstick stuck in your head. And when you press down, you look
pull,
up.
yeah.
And when you look up, you press down, which
Or-
makes sense
yeah.
if you were flying a fucking plane.
yeah, I was gonna say, okay. Or plane controls. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that's the worst controller. The only
probably not. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, for you,
But
it's
it is
controller.
pretty bad. It is on my shit list for sure.
It is on your shit list because
Yeah.
did you ever? First off, did you ever own a Nintendo 64?
No, I played it though.
I know you didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
But you
that's
played.
different.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't have because I had a PlayStation by then. Why would I own it?
No, yeah. Well, I had a 64.
So did
I'm not sure which
I.
one came out first, but I had a
Yeah.
64.
No.
And then I eventually came. I don't know
Didn't the
which.
64 came? Oh, you didn't know which
I
came
don't know
out
which
first.
one came out
The
first, yeah.
Nintendo 64 came out first.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I had that, and I got that when it first came out. And then on top of that, it gave me Pilot Wings, which is a flight sim game, which started the
really
whole.
cemented the whole inverted.
Yeah, that was it, man. That's it. That's what did it all to me right there. But anyway, so I had that one first, and then I got the PlayStation. But that said, I don't think I think because if you own the console, you're gonna have to try to use it, no matter what, and you eventually get it, and it makes sense because every game's different. For the most
Yeah.
part, they use the sticks. All right? And when using the sticks, you don't even go to the D-pad. But whenever it was a side-scrolling game, never even touch the stick. I would grab from the two outer prongs.
A normal way of holding a
correct.
controller. Yeah.
And the middle prong did nothing. You know,
Yeah.
just because of the type of thing. So, and it made sense.
Don't forget that.
For its time, it made sense.
Yeah.
Clearly, that would not fly now. The stick is way too fucking long.
See, but I still think that for that time, the Super Nintendo controller gamepad was still better to me. No. I know it sounds like a funny thing, but to me,
You're probably right, but here's the problem. It worked. The Super Nintendo was great. It doesn't work for 3D spaces.
no.
And the Nintendo
you're
64
right. You're right.
introduced 3D spaces.
This was their way. Yeah.
This is their way to
this
get
was
around.
their
Don't
way.
forget where the handle where the analog stick was. Don't forget there was a button underneath the analog stick too.
Yeah, the trigger.
Oh, yes.
The
Yes,
trigger
yeah,
button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for
that
like
thing.
Which was weird
shooting
because
games,
you are
you'll
now
be using that.
a left-handed person holding
Holding
a
a
gun
trigger
all the time.
Oh, this is not, mind you. We want to reiterate. This is not the worst controller.
It's not the worst controller.
It is
because
just
you can
really bad.
Honestly though, like I had the Nintendo
I mean,
64. It
it pretty much messed up my friend's sense of direction when playing games, to the
think,
point that now he can't even play keyboard and mouse. So that's how much it scarred him. This controller, damn you, Nintendo 64 controller.
I would say that
I
I'm
don't
not the
really
only
think
one
so.
that got scarred with that.
So I had a Nintendo 64 too, because
Yes.
it was my parents. You know, they're the ones who they're the ones who had the Nintendo 64 and then placed it, but we would be playing it, and I usually use the D-pad and the buttons, but that was mostly to play Super Smash Brothers at the time. But like games like racing games like Pod Racing, the Star Wars Pod Racing.
Oh, that was
The pod racing was good, yeah.
That game was
that was
great.
really good.
And you needed that stick, didn't you?
I was playing it on PC, so I don't know.
Keyboard and mouse.
No, it was not keyboard and mouse. I had a
And
gamepad.
also games like Super Mario 64 and even Conker's
Yeah,
Bad Fur, it
yeah,
would be using
3D,
the
yeah, 3D
analog
spaces, yeah.
stick.
Definitely.
So once again, like you said, you got used to it. You really did. Like I said, I was also a kid, so you got used to it really, and then you enjoyed for what it was.
yeah.
Yeah, but
You get you
hey,
get
you
past
got used to it. Doesn't sound to me like an argument for, hey, this controller was
No,
great.
Well, the thing is,
Or
and
good even.
I think it's.
you
I
got
think
used to
personally,
it.
it's retroactively bad, more than it was bad for its time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it is. Because you look at it now, and you look at it even a few years after, the next generation, you
Yeah.
go, "What the? Why were we playing with this
Yeah.
shit?"
Also, don't forget
Before its time, it was revolutionary. You know what I
Don't
mean?
forget, after the Nintendo 64, you had the GameCube controller, one which I did like playing. But
That's
once again,
another
the
one.
GameCube
remember,
controller, man.
remember, it was also
It's like
another.
Nintendo suddenly forgot how to make game controllers.
It's another also
I never
horrendous controller with. You had the analog, not in the. Well, it didn't have 3 handles. It had 2 like.
No,
regular
this one had 2
controllers.
at least. Yeah, this one was a little bit more normal.
But the difference is that it had like little, almost like teardrop hanging things.
The beans?
right next to the handles that had the D-pad.
Oh.
And the C stick,
Oh, the
which wasn't used very often unless to like do some
Even
sort
on
of
the C-
taunt
Oh,
in
man.
Didn't
Super
the
Smash Brothers.
Nintendo 64 have like C buttons?
The
It
Z
did,
buttons,
yes,
yeah.
but it was
yeah.
more towards where the regular buttons.
Yeah,
No, this
yeah.
is a C stick,
Yeah.
more towards the handle that you
That
don't
one's
use
a-
often.
And then you could buy a Rumble pack.
That
For the
was
Nintendo 64, you
the
remember?
Nintendo 64. I was gonna say I didn't think the GameCube one.
No, Nintendo 64. You bought
dude,
the Rumble pack.
You can say whatever you want, dude.
No. I give good
the
credit.
moment I plugged in that Rumble pack and I went to play GoldenEye,
one too,
and I
yeah.
pulled the trigger and it just said on my hand, I was like,
Whoa,
holy shit.
this is real. This is like a real gun.
Yes, I was in. I was like sold. However, I don't think those are the worst controllers, regardless.
No.
So
I think the only really bad controller, and
Say it.
and you actually used it, but I've seen it. Oh God, is the Atari?
The Atari Jaguar.
Yes. with
Oh
the-
wow! Yeah, that looks
I
pretty.
mean,
That was
it
pretty
looks
terrible.
horrendous.
Yeah,
That was really terrible.
I
The
never
Atari
used
Jaguar was a combination of the Xbox Duke, except without analog, just the size of it, and it had a keypad like if it was a freaking phone.
Yes.
And but
Yes.
dude,
I thought it was dialing something. I need help with this controller, please.
back in the day, it was like people didn't know. Is yeah, just make us something. Just put some buttons on it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead. They'll figure out how
We'll
to.
we'll program something into it later.
Yeah. The ColecoVision. You remember the ColecoVision?
Oh my God, yeah.
Does control. First of all, it had the what do you call it? The coiled, the coil cable that you will try to. Hey, I want to play. You will try to pull on it, and it'll put like the system was constantly playing a tug of war with your controller, so you can never like hold it steady, and then. And then the buttons were on the side. You first of all, you grabbed it like you would grab a TV remote, and the controllers were on the buttons were on the side, and it had like.
Go here on the sides.
Well, I think I actually had an analog. No, I would not say it's an analog. It's
Yeah,
probably what
I
I don't
don't think
know.
it's an analog.
It's probably
some sort of
digital
sort of
is
contraption
unlocked.
of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that controller was terrible. That controller was yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it's a toss up between those two. I would
Those
say.
two.
As
I
I was
agree.
saying with the GameCube, like, and it had all these buttons on the side, like what you would think is analog buttons on the side with your triggers as just the main triggers. So you know how you have your L1 on the L1 R1 on the PS4. These were on the side of your A B.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that.
Very cool.
But
yeah.
you know what? Even though yes, it looked complicated, it was great for Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about exotic and concept controllers?
I
In a bit.
wasn't planning to.
Yeah.
I wanted to go
But
into
this was
some
kind
of
of
the comments.
a
Oh,
top
okay,
on
okay,
top
okay,
of
okay.
But I do
Nintendo
want to. I do
64.
want, since we all agree with the Xbox One controller being the best.
360. You heard that?
What is
That would've
your
been- that would've been-
your worst controller? Personally, to you, to me, I'm going to throw it out there. It's probably not the worst. I didn't like it ever. Okay, had to be the Genesis controller.
The Genesis controller.
Genesis controller.
Oh, that controller was not
football
terrible.
kind of.
No.
Oh, the original one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Not the one with the 6 buttons, 'cause that was great for Street Fighter.
Oh, it was great for Street Fighter, but
Obviously,
no,
yeah.
I'm talking about the
Okay.
original
All right,
3-button,
all right.
shitty D-pad.
Shitty fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad controller. That was the.
I mean,
worst
it was
controller.
workable, but I'm not gonna argue for it. I'm gonna pick my battle.
The next one behind that will be the one that Seth sent me, which actually no, the one who would take the cake on that will probably be the one that Seth sent me, which was worked for the for that thing, but it was
Retro?
for
even
the
worse.
for the
Remember the one that he sent you? You put it
yeah
on
no I remember which one
But
that
it
that
worked
one
for the Sega.
It,
It was-
Oh, was it for the?
it didn't have
Yeah.
buttons, right? It was
had
just
buttons.
like capacitors, right?
No, it had buttons,
Capacitor
but
buttons,
the
no?
the D-pad was.
Are you talking about the Dreamcast?
No.
No. This
Not
was
on
for the
that,
Genesis.
with
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
The D-pad had nothing on it. It had like this empty space that would pick up your finger as you're moving it on.
Oh, I know which
yeah.
one you're talking about. I
It's-
saw it.
Yeah,
so many
it
times.
had like a
I actually have it
capacitor.
out there. Yeah, it's
Like you just touch it and then it picked up
Or-
what you
yeah,
think
I
it
thought,
was.
where
I
it
thought it
is.
was because I thought like
No
you
good.
lost the analog stick or something. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
No.
Wait. We can't finish. We can end this.
no.
This
I'm
thing.
gonna hate what your worst one is.
No, but we're gonna. Okay, all right. So
That's
my
my worst one,
So
yeah.
I mean,
gotta talk about the computer.
again, it's an old record. Nintendo 64 to me was the
Gotcha.
one.
For
Michelle.
me, it's a little more kind of a recent past generation. The Wii U game.
Oh yes,
I-
yes.
The reason why
The
is
gamepad.
that
Yeah,
yes, the reason why is that the system was mostly meant for kids, and yes, I know I have baby hands and all that, but holding it because the grips in the back
It'll
were
hurt.
like little,
It'll hurt your hands.
It was like speed bumps, kind of. They weren't big enough, so once again for kids. So if you're playing for long hours, you can feel your fingers actually cramping.
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
it was-
You cramp up badly.
It was a nice style, don't forget, but that part just holding it was aggravating.
The
me so
idea was
much.
great when the motion control portion of it, but when you use that as a gamepad, it was like no,
And,
don't
like,
use this as a gamepad.
There were
Come on.
times where I wanted to get the Wii U controller that they would sell. That's like the knockoff Xbox.
Oh, the classic.
But I'm like, I
yeah.
don't really want to spend the money for that when this should have been like that from the beginning.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
All right, so let's go to some of the comments here real
But
quick.
wait, I was gonna ask you. I know we're running long, but we cannot not talk about the Duke.
We can do that after.
Yeah, we can. And
After.
it's an ugly ass freaking controller.
All right, so-
they should not have approved to make another one of it.
No,
Why?
No, wait. The controller was working. It was completely prohibitively for people with small hands. So Shadow, you wouldn't be able to hold this thing because you wouldn't reach the buttons.
What?
Yes,
The button- this thing was
it's this
huge.
Oh,
big
the
thing like this.
Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
my
Duke.
cousin had my.
No, the new Duke.
Oh, the new one. Oh,
the
God,
thing
no.
is
No.
ugly.
I mean, the Duke and the old
It reminds me of.
Is it the same?
Is
is
I
the
thought it
same
was a
design.
if it's the
It's-
same,
it's-
then
and to
I
clarify,
played
this is
before.
not Microsoft doing it. This
I
is
know,
a
this is
third party
I
that
know.
Microsoft gave the go ahead, which I think is pretty cool that they did
So,
that.
Question.
For purposes of nostalgia, I would love to have one. Would I play on it constantly? No.
So,
Yours was wrong.
question
with the problem.
though.
Why?
Is
Why is it wrong to have something? I don't know, a piece of extra. Like it's like if Nintendo gave the go ahead for someone to make the 64 controller for the Switch.
I would buy it.
So,
You wouldn't buy it?
No.
Then you prove my point.
so I was gonna
Back controller.
ask. Is it gonna be like an exact like replica size and everything?
Yeah. This thing is a replica
Because
size.
I know when.
Yes, huge and ugly.
So, because GameStop had their own GameCube controllers before, it looked like it, but it was too bulky than the original GameCube, so it felt too bulky in your
Unnatural.
hands. Weird. The controls just not.
It's just
did
bad.
not feel
It's just
smooth or
it doesn't
anything.
look
Yeah.
pretty. It doesn't look sleek. It
You-
doesn't even look like it may feel sleek. It's just
No, it was
an
it was
ugly-
it was the first generation
it's a dude.
controller. Yeah,
It is a
Those
dude.
I
it was
played that.
pretty awesome.
No,
all right.
it was not.
And it would be on par with the Dreamcast.
The way you feel about
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
the way you feel about that is the way we feel about Nintendo.
Except
64
you never hold one. I bet.
What, the original Xbox?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You did? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you credit. If you did, then okay, that's
It's just and to be truthful, at the time, and I wasn't going, oh, this is an ugly ass controller.
Yeah,
Other than
yeah.
the fact that, oh, this is a big
This thing
piece
is
of
huge.
plastic right here. You know what I mean?
This thing is huge. But that being said, there was an even bigger controller, and this thing was huge to the point that it was like the size of, I can't even describe it. It was the size of, what is this size? The size of what?
The size of I don't know, a glove,
This thing,
an oven mitt.
it was for the Sega Saturn. You remember the game Knights?
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Sega Saturn had a ugly
Sega Saturn had a controller, but the first time I laid eyes on this, I thought it was like the most amazing thing. Even though it was the first of its kind, mind you, and obviously it's ugly and huge. This thing was humongous, and it was an analog controller, and it has 6 buttons, and it was designed to play Knights because Knights was a 3D title, I guess. So they needed, of course,
Sort
they needed
of,
to
yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
side-scrolling.
Yeah, so that was even bigger than the Duke.
So I have another
Very
question,
big
but
one.
I'll do it after, more towards the end of this segment.
And comment, go.
All right. So comments on the topic. Excuse me. Brian Barrera says that PS3 controller is the worst of all time.
The PS3 controller?
Yes.
I will have to, no, of all time?
Of
Shit.
all
That's-
time.
I mean, it's pretty bad, but I'm with
Of
you.
its generation, yes. but not
Yeah,
all
of the
time.
generation, I would say. But of all time, have you seen the Nintendo 64 controller? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Have you
Very
seen
funny.
any other like 80s controller?
He follows
Coleco
follows up with also the Logitech OG Microsoft. Excuse me, the Logitech OG Xbox wireless controller is the greatest of all time.
Wow, third party representing. All right, Logitech.
Javier Rosario says the Super NES, the GameCube, and Genesis controllers are the cream of the crop. He lost me at Genesis.
Genesis. I like the Nintendo 64 controller. I have to admit, I thought that was great.
Chad Mon, Sega Genesis 6-button controller
Yes.
equals the best ever.
Yes,
For
that
fighting
controller was
games.
pretty good. I told you
Yeah.
for fighting games, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Eternal, whatever it was called.
Seth Myers says,
Who's that guy?
yeah,
that guy keeps like roaming on the groups. I don't even know.
GameCube controller
the police.
is and might always be the best platform fighter controller.
Which one?
GameCube controller.
Didn't I
GameCube
say-
controller?
In other
Is
words,
and might
he's
always be
talking
the
about
best.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
You talking about Smash
Platform.
Brothers?
Yeah, platform.
Oh, okay.
His
But
wife,
wasn't I saying that?
Cody, disagrees, or maybe she just chimes in. Wii U Pro is actually a better.
So that's the game that's
the
Xbox looking
yeah.
controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I was saying was
All right.
better than the gamepad.
I will say that's a vote for the Xbox, but I'm not gonna put words on her mouth.
Finally, Jason Ferriello gives us a very, 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 very long
And
post.
detailed.
He did the
But
too
he
long
also
Gary.
did the too long to
Give me the TLDR.
So his best controllers are the Xbox 360/1, PS2 DualShock, and the Super
Oh,
NES.
wow. He went with the DualShock.
Worse, Sega Genesis. I hear you, brother. Nintendo 64. I don't hear you.
Ah,
brother.
yes, I hear you, brother.
The Steam controller.
Oh my God, yeah, that I don't know what the hell is
Yeah,
that. Thank you
what?
for bringing that up. That's a great point. Hey, let's try to combine the mouse position with a gamepad. What we're gonna a Frankenstein monstrosity.
I mean, even
Thank
just
you.
looking at it's weird.
A controller for Ronaldo.
And then finally, the original PS1 controller before the DualShock.
Before
I
the
definitely have
DualShock.
to agree
Yeah,
with
before
that.
the DualShock, it was.
That was also ugly, by the way.
yes, it
By
was.
the
I
way,
mean, it
H-
didn't have your analog sticks. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
we're
but it
talking
was
about.
just an ugly looking controller.
Yeah.
On top of that, so you throw some analog sticks there, and it just
Well, that was this
To
was
make it even
before
worse.
they put color into it. It was just
Whatever.
pretty much black and white and gray
no,
and
it
all
was
over.
gray. It was all gray. It was
I
disgusting.
can play Tony Hawk like a
It
madman
didn't
with
have
that.
any color in it.
He has a category for ugly controller,
Oh.
GameCube controller,
GameCube controller, yes, it's
The-
ugly.
the Wii controller,
Yes.
Say it was great.
and a controller called Arnaldo.
Ah.
I see what you did there. sir.
Controlling.
And then he finally says, keyboard and mouse, PC race, bitches.
Yes.
And then he says,
Bitches.
don't kill me.
Oh no, I will protect you with my life. I will throw myself in front of bullets because I have the precision of keyboard and mouse. I know where the bullets are landing.
So you're going to go right past it because you're going to go too fast.
Yes. I know kung fu.
So with that brings us here to the end. Do you have anything else to add to the hot topic of the week?
Go ahead.
I know that none of you have ever played it before, but what would you think of the Switch controller? Will it be good or bad or the worst?
What I've heard,
That's all right.
it looks
mean-
difficult to get used to.
Yeah.
Like standalone or with the actual screen with it?
Well, both, because even if you have it attached to the screens on the side or standalone together like that, it's still the same layout.
They are workable.
Yeah.
But as a ergonomic controller, I wouldn't give them.
I mean, I had to ask, considering we were talking about
Yeah,
controllers,
controller,
why not
yeah.
the most recent controller that we thought was?
Yeah.
hey.
I mean, it's nice for the console itself, but since we've never really, I thought I should ask.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And I will let you know once I get the Switch.
I mean, I know someone who already plays it. I have yet to ask them.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an extremely
I am.
filling episode of the
Extremely.
Mouthful Podcast. The real episode 74. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, as I mentioned before, go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. Let us know what your favorite controllers are, and let us know if we're wrong about our favorite controllers, and and if
And
we're
we'll
wrong
let you
about
know
yours. Yeah.
why you're wrong.
Yeah. We'll come back with
no
some
wrong
retorts.
answer here. Honestly,
Definitely.
everyone has
Except
an opinion.
for the keyboard and mouse. But
Except for the Nintendo 64.
so,
Keyboard and mouse. It's the best controller. The most precise. I mean, since
True.
when precision is not valued,
yeah, exactly.
that's the word of.
Q static.
This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, signing off for this evening. Mr. Dream Twister, David Santos.
Touch controls,
So,
touchpad,
oh, touchpad.
lives matter.
Okay.
We're not
With
gonna-
that,
we're not talking about that. Okay.
Wow,
Miss Shadow, take us home.
it's amazing. It's like
It
you
is
said,
amazing.
it's a meaty podcast.
It is.
today. You gotta remember, you called it Mouthful for a reason.
Oh, most definitely.
It is a mouthful.
definitely.
Yes,
We're still chewing on this,
Long live the keyboard and mouse.
We're
and we
trying
will
to
never,
digest.
probably never, come to the end of this discussion.
You guys will
So
take
stay
it to
tuned for
your
part
graves.
2. Oh,
Next week.
next week.
All right, guys. So we see you next week.
GG!